Hey y'all, what's up? Make sure everything is set up good. My audio. Get my microphone plugged, y'all. Check, check. Check, check. Let me know if you can hear. Let me know if you can hear. What's up, guys? Let's wait for some people to come up in this place. Got a couple things to play. Got a couple, Hey, y'all. As you know, we are here to chat this evening. It is 9:53 p.m. my time. I'm not sure what time it is by y'all. Shout out to Daryl Long. And I feel like this might have been from the other day because I was supposed to do this live the other day. And it was supposed to be a little ladies panel. I don't know if it's going to shape up to be that way tonight, but we'll see. Yes. We need to put this discussion to rest, like the video. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Keep coming in. Like the video as you come in. Like, comment. Drop a little comment in there. Let me know where you're calling, where you're coming in from, where you're watching from. So I wanted us to have a discussion tonight about why there's so much beef over this Ebony K. Williams. Here we go. Put a little bit more light on my face. Ooh, but it's just blinding me though, because it's like it's not exactly a ring light. It's another light. I have to get a different ring light. So in the meantime, I'm using a little desk lamp. Guys, come in. Bring yourselves in. I'm here waiting for y'all to come. But I wanted to have this discussion tonight because I feel like this past week has just been nothing but discussions about bus drivers. And I'm trying to understand, like, guys, if you want to support the stream, I do have Cash App. You can support that. But I did want to have a discussion tonight because I feel like all we keep talking about is this ominous bus driver. And I feel like I've never heard so much discussion about a bus driver in my life. Not to say that there's anything wrong with a bus driver. There's nothing wrong with a bus driver. No one ever said there was. I just think that if we're being honest, sorry, but bus driver is not an aspirational career. It is essential. It's essential. Like, right? It's essential and we respect it. But it's not aspirational. Anyway, so guys, keep coming in. I'm live. I'll let the music keep playing. Bring yourselves into the door. Share this stream so people know I'm live. And I'm going to go and try to tighten up my eyebrows. Because Sway said I drew my eyebrows on. But at the end of the day, I actually have eyebrow etching. So I'm just going in there and putting a little bit of pigment where the etching has kind of like ran out. It's been a couple years since I've done it, so I think I'm due. So come into the building, guys, and I am here waiting for y'all. Thank you. I will be right back. And as a matter of fact, I think I just better play this Ebony K interview. Instead of me playing the video, I'm just going to play the audio. That way, for those of y'all coming in, we could stay on topic and get to the conversation, because I won't be here all night. I have a lot of things to do. It's been very hard for me to set up a live. But here, I'm going to let it roll.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV Charlemagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club.
You guys can listen to the interview as I, y'all can listen to the interview, the Breakfast Club. Y'all can listen to the Breakfast Club interview while I'll be back in like 2 minutes. I'm almost ready. Thank you.
Sex talk earlier today, but
I'm not doing the video because of fair use. So
Envy in here lying, y'all, but I ain't gonna call him out. I mean, he was a culprit. He was involved in an activity that he ain't shared with everybody.
You was part of that activity.
Let's do what you were doing. You got a special guest in the building as well.
Special guest in the building.
Okay.
Ebony K. Williams is here.
Ebony K. Williams.
Good morning, Breakfast Club fam. Good morning, Horrible Decisions family.
Hello, fam.
This is like a family reunion of this piece.
It really is.
I feel like we about to start fighting, so let's just say we love each other now.
I actually feel bad, and I'm gonna tell you why I feel bad, because I did two things this week that I normally don't do. Number one, if somebody I know is got something going on social media, we should have spoke to them and not about them. You know what I mean? And Ebony is our people, so I feel like we should have probably spoke to her. You know, reached out to her like we always do for everything else. And I didn't watch the full interview with Ayanna. I watched the clip online.
The good thing I reached out to you, my good brother,
yes,
and we had a productive, spirited conversation.
Yes, we did.
And you rolled out the red carpet, and that's why I'm here today. So I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Now, did who watched the full interview with Ayanna?
I did listen to the full Holding Court episode with Ebony K. Williams and Dustin Ross. Of course, I saw the clips as well. And I as well responded on my podcast, The Other Thing Is, and spoke about it as well. However, there was more agreement with you than not. And so I'm excited to have this conversation.
Ayanna was really the issue when watching it, though. Like, I mean, I made a comment on your page and Breakfast Club page, and men was jumping down my throat. So I'm like, what does it matter what she wants to be with? But I think the other comments were tough to watch.
So here's the thing. I want to, first of all, as I started with my Holding Court episode, offer gratitude. Because I think what we know, the fact that this conversation with myself and Dr. Ayanna, shout out to my SOAR, it aired last week. And let's talk about what's happened since then. We've had a whole White House Correspondents' Dinner, which Roy Wood Jr. killed. Shout out to Roy. We've had the Met Gala. We've got a war in Ukraine and still a war in Sudan. And yet folks is still talking about this shit more than anything else. And I think that speaks to something, right? I think it speaks to the insatiable nature of the fact that we've got to have this conversation. As Black men and women, and we talking about the Black family structure and Black wealth building, and all of those are tenets that are tethered to why this has hit such a nerve and why it's reverberating. In a way, Tyrese posting about it, Jason Lee posting about it, Shade Room posting about it, Spiritual World posting about it, Ava DuVernay in the comments, Viola Davis in the comments.
What was Viola saying?
We get to. So that's a good thing. I want to start by that framework. Nothing about this is negative. People are disagreeing. People are feeling away. We're going to talk about it. But I want to start by the framing that we cannot have rupture in the culture and not do the work of repair. So to me, this is a conversation about repairing and restoring what has historically been a productive, valuable conversation and relationship between Black men and women that somehow, some way has gotten away from us.
Well, I think it's two different conversations. Like I watched the full, like I don't care who.
There's a lot of people that don't know what you're talking about. That might have just tuned in and have no idea.
So, Frank, go ahead, Frank.
Do they live under a rock?
Some people, because you have to tell people what you're talking about.
Okay.
So it's helpful comments that, because I don't want to misconstrue, because we only had a small piece of your conversation with Ayanna.
Sure.
So during your Ayanna conversation, she asked if you would
come in the building, like the streams.
Let me back up for 1 second and be correct. I invited Ayanna on my grill.
All right, so we're going to keep listening to this interview as y'all file in the building. I'm not going to play it on video because I know it's Breakfast Club and I'm sure it's content that I can't really use like that. But shout out to Melbourne, Australia. Thank you for being here, yo. Appreciate you. Hold on. As a matter of fact, let me keep playing this interview as y'all come in.
Show airs on Byron
My boy Daryl, you already know I gave you a shout out top of the stream. So you already know.
is y'all saw here at the Breakfast Club. No, love y'all. Y'all had a young on, and a young made a statement on the Breakfast Club morning show, and she said that a lot of young black ladies out here are men in skirts.
Which you agreed with.
Which I found very provocative. Did I not call you?
What y'all think about that? You think she right about that? You think a lot of young black women are men in skirts? Let me know. Drop a comment.
Spicy. I would love to participate in this conversation. And then you do what you always do, and you went radio silent. That's cool. So then I invited everybody that knows Charlamagne and is a loving relationship with Charlamagne. No, that's the shit he pulled. It's cool. I never take it personally. So it's cool. It's always love for 7 years. So then I said to my team, I said, reach out to Ayanla. Let's book it. Let's bring on the grill because I want to have the conversation and probably more productively, right, y'all? Black woman to black woman. Yeah. Let's talk to each other, and also generation to generation. Let's talk. Yeah, because she old. Yeah. Sorry.
Uh-uh.
You should hope to get to that age.
That's it. I know, of course. I want to age. I want to age. Amen.
Why she said it like that?
Okay, so Yana comes on, and I say, this is the framing I say to Dr. Vanzar, to Yana. I say, sis, Doctor, Sora, talk to me about what you would recommend black women do in terms of our posture and positioning. When you're right, I am showing up in a posture of building.
That's a fact.
And protecting my own self. I'm showing up in masculine energy, as you would call it.
She's not wrong.
Conceding your point. But tell me how you would guide me to not do so when, I'll be honest, I don't really feel like I can trust that if I don't do it, that there's going to be adequate.
Thank you.
Or they're adequate.
I guess that says, damn, you're gorgeous. Love from Melbourne. Peace, Melbourne. Thank you so much. Keep listening.
And protection if I don't do it. And just how you said it.
Appreciate you.
Right? And then I did stare into the abyss because I wasn't really sure where we were
I don't know why I didn't hear her.
Because she is an elder and she's also my soror and the deference. If you know, you know. I'm gonna go with you. So I honestly answered y'all in that moment. If he owned the bus. And that's what I said, Envy. But what people heard based on the comments, that I said bus drivers wasn't shit. People heard that I said that bus drivers broke, don't make no money, ain't got no benefits, and that they were beneath me. That somehow was the interpretation of me saying that I will date a bus owner. Now, let me tell you what I actually said, and this is what the whole Holden Court shit was about. Go check that out right now where you get your podcast, Holden Court with FDK Williams featuring Dustin Ross.
Hey, you.
Y'all, let me tell you why ownership is
Rob B in the building.
About salary. Y'all made it about salary. Y'all started debating 125.
Yeah, girl, I know you doing your stream.
Versus 200 a year.
I got you. I just left your stream too. I actually didn't want to leave your stream. I was about to cancel mine. I liked yours. It was productive shit going on over there.
Single black women are buying 20% of the market share of new real estate on the market. I know because I just closed last summer and it was a shit show. And that's another conversation.
Damn, I have to set this up so it plays better. Uncle. That's for Melbourne. Thank you, sir. For my girl, Robbie. Okay, back to the interview. Let's let it play while y'all coming in.
Yeah. I sent it to you, Charlamagne.
Got you.
You guys do so much
I already know.
Breakfast Club about what? HBCUs. And I was devastated when my good friend Eugene Scott sent me a post, Washington Post article that said black men are going to HBCUs 1 to 2. It's 2 to 1 for black women graduating. So these are things we got to look at. Because you have daughters, and you have daughters, and some of y'all in here got daughters.
And you have daughters, and you have daughters, and you have daughters. That's why when I hear these conversations on YouTube, between all of these men here, it kind of disappoints me because I know there's so many of y'all that have chocolate daughters that are even blacker than me. That I swear, y'all, how do you instill confidence in a woman if you don't? Like, you guys don't recognize anything. It's crazy because this conversation just keep going and keep going and keep going because people don't want to accept that people have their preferences. It's like black men is the only person, they're the only people allowed to have a preference. Thank you, girl. Okay. Ow. I did a little press out. My hair, tried my best to press out this all natural. Thank you. Thank you, girl. Come through with it. Appreciate it. Yes. Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. I just feel like these women, they deserve to have their preferences as well. So
If they're gonna want to partner and marry men,
and Ebony K is
black
pretty.
men at that, and they're gonna
She
wanna
deserved
be
her
together, as
her
you two
preference.
cite your marriages as examples of. We gotta talk about how people can be equally yoked. So back to ownership, Charlamagne. I said ownership is key for me. Why? Not because I'm a bougie bitch. This is not about everybody being a Harvard surgeon. This is about this book right here, Bet on Black. You've read it, Charlamagne. Y'all were at the party. Y'all know what time it is. It's hard to be free in America as a black person when you don't own anything. And I mean that with my fiber and my being.
And most of y'all not gonna own nothing. You see, I just came off of Raw B's live, and they're actually owning things already. There are women in there from HBCUs. I guess they're all sorors or something like that. I've never joined a sorority. I'm a New York bitch. I went to Hunter. I really didn't. Like, I'm just a money bitch, been a money bitch my whole life. So I didn't really do the sorors thing, but I respect it because when I went into that live, everybody, they're going on campaigns. They're building neighborhoods in Georgia. Like, and it's disappointing because I want to know, where are the black men that are supposed to build? Like, where's the community that's supposed to be helping all of these women? You go on her website and it's beautiful women, a couple guys. And I'm trying to understand, like, anyway, let Ebony keep going.
My grandfather, Kerry James Williams, had a 4th grade education in Mount Pelier, Louisiana.
My grandma from Louisiana. My grandmother is from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. My African-American grandma on my mother's side, right? Because when I tell you guys I'm African-American, meaning I was born here, and my grandmother is an African-American who was her family's lineage 400 years deep. And then you tell me I'm a tether because my dad is Jamaican, you crazy. And then I tell you I'm Nigerian because my genes are Nigerian. It's like, keep up. Keep up. Black people from America are from Africa, and we came by way of the Caribbean. Keep up. Eh? Okay, let's keep going.
For my family, with everything they needed, by doing 5 things at one time. That man cut hair. He made and sold moonshine. He cut graveyards on the weekend. He also worked a salary job at a feed mill. If you know about that feed mill life, then you know. My point in this is saying this, and then he raised my mother, Gloria, who also did not complete college. She took 2 years at Texas Southern. She said, how much? 50,000. It ain't gonna be that for me. And she peaced out. And she started her own business. She drove the...
Hold up. Her mother, that's exactly how I was when I chose to not go to NYU and I decided I was going to go to Hunter. I said, you know what? I've been doing math since I was like 2 years old, 3 years old. I'm going to be all right, whether I go to NYU or whether I go to a place where I can get a decent education and not really pay. Like, there are choices out here. Don't go into debt trying to please anybody, ladies. Unless you want to go to an HBCU and get your soror sisters, I support that part. But all these PWIs charging like, yo, I was supposed to be going to this Stern Business School. Stern Business School want to talk about $38,000 a semester? Y'all niggas is crazy.
Bus. So for all of y'all in the comments, well, my daddy drove a bus. Well, my mama drove a bus. My mother drove a bus as well, y'all. She drove a bus until she acquired a skill set. In her case, it was cosmetology. She drove the bus in the morning, the school bus. She would get off the bus. She would go to Universal Beauty School off of Bates Ford Road in Charlotte, North Carolina. She would then get back on the bus, drive the afternoon shift. Then she would come check on me, make sure that I was doing what I needed to do. And then she would go drive for UPS. So for those of y'all talking to me like I don't know what a CDL license can do, I helped my mom study for a CDL when I was 9 years old. I promise you I know about that life. My point is this. It's about skills. It is nothing wrong with driving a bus if that is your maximum skill set.
Guys, like the video.
Black America up to the excellence that I know we can occupy. I've seen it before. Entrepreneurship is the key to me. That's not just me talking. That's Earl Grave Sr., the founder and visionary of Black Enterprise. I'm talking about Black Enterprise, Black ownership, and Black liberation. And it is important to me. It's in my DNA. It's my personal legacy. Because my mama told me, y'all, nobody will pay you what you will pay you. And this is not about shaming bus drivers, but I want to be clear. If you are driving a bus today, and that is the maximum of your skill set, I love and appreciate it for you. I have to, because it's an honest day's living.
Absolutely.
But I want to tell you the truth. And this is not about hurting feelings or talking down or being an elitist. I need you to know that in 10 years, you may or may not have a job. Because artificial intelligence. See, this is the part nobody wants to talk
lawyers might not have a job.
They might not. And that's
She said in about 10 years, y'all bus drivers may not have a job. I mean, they do have self-driving automobiles now, and I think they even have larger carriers that are self-driving too. So I don't know. I don't know if she's right about that.
So I'm glad you're going there, Charlamagne, because this is the part of the conversation that people really are feeling triggered by. We all have to reassess constantly our skill set and how it's applicable today and how it might or might not be applicable tomorrow. So this goes back to everybody in the comments. Well, my daddy drove a bus and he did this and this and he was respectful and he was a good black man. He was a great black man, I'm sure. I'm sure all the bus drivers are saints and none of them cheat and none of them beat women and they all are just God-fearing men that show up and how they're supposed to in this world. I believe
But not all. But I'm saying
that's the narrative. It's sarcasm.
All right, I moved this down so I don't have to be looking up all the way up.
That dare to advance a skill set in a different kind of way, not a better way or a worse way.
All right, this is better. So now I don't have to be like straining my neck.
Their wives and will die alone. That's the
what
narrative.
Tyler Perry movie is this?
That's what I'm saying.
It's temptation.
It's very Tyler Perry.
It is.
But Ebony, what about the
It is giving Tyler Perry though. Like these panels are giving Tyler Perry. I mean, a lot of these guys, they say they don't like Tyler Perry, but if I'm being honest, the dramatics, the antics is giving Tyler Perry. I hate to say it, but my girl in the building. Shout out to Leaked in the building. But what's good? Me too. I had some Jamaican stew chicken. That I made last night. I made it so late last night at like 12 something because my sleep schedule was just crazy. That's why this past weekend I was supposed to do this ladies panels. I knew you guys were busy. I don't have that many subscribers right now. And I knew the ones that I had that I liked the most. Y'all are busy. Sunday was so beautiful in New York. I assume wherever you guys was at, weather was kind of decent. The whole country was nice. So I figure if you was busy, you was busy. It is what it is. But thank you for being here now. I think Ebony was right when she said what she said. Let me go back a couple seconds because we almost done with this interview. But I want y'all to keep hearing
In a
it.
different kind of way. They all have full-blown AIDS, beat their wives, and will die alone. That's the
What
narrative.
Tyler Perry movie is this?
That's what I'm saying.
It's temptation.
It's very Tyler Perry.
It's giving Tyler Perry, y'all.
Their goal was to own a home. And what if they came from something that necessarily wasn't the best education and driving the bus is
I think we got to broaden the
It's
conversation.
successful.
I think we keep
See,
using the words like
this-
bus
this-
drivers.
this-
We got
This is what bothers me to make it seem like bus drivers only drive.
Why would you talk about bus drivers?
Because y'all let me generalize drivers. Let's generalize.
We can talk bus drivers, we can talk police officers, we can talk MTA workers, we can talk all these different people that work at these quote unquote average jobs.
Everyday working class
Now
people.
this is my problem, right?
Yes.
Now you know I do real estate and I do these seminars all across the country,
Sure.
right? We get thousands of people. The majority of people that own homes and investment homes are your quote unquote average workers,
Yep,
all your
right.
bus drivers, all your MTA workers. So they just don't drive buses. They have properties. I know a police officer that drives Ferraris because it's not from his police job. It's from the houses that he owns that he made off to the police
You
job.
sure it's not from the cocaine?
I'm
he's stealing
1,000%
in
no.
the,
I'm 1,000%.
I'm playing.
He
That's a
has
joke.
more properties than you, me, and Charlie
That's
put
a
together.
joke.
That's who he is.
That's a joke.
But they take it serious. But I know these people that do it and they put in hard work. So when you said I wouldn't date a bus driver unless he owned his own bus, a lot of people felt it like, yo, that's disrespectful because I took a job. And a lot of people take those jobs for a couple of different reasons. One, the benefits, right? They know they can work for 20 years. After 20 years, they can retire and they still get their retirement and they still get their benefits. So
Ladies, I dropped the link. If y'all want to come up and we could have this conversation for real, without the interruptions of men and their feelings, like this man right here, then hit that link. Okay.
20 years they can. Most police officers, the same thing. They get their retirement, they can still carry their firearm, and they can still get their benefits. So I look at it as that's a great hustle. They work for 20 years. At the end of 20 years, let's say they start at 21. At 41, they done working the bus company, done being a police officer, done being MTA, and now they just making money on top of money. So it's value over values, right?
Ivy, let me stop you right there.
It's not.
Do you think for 1 second, and I know you don't know me that well, but
Correct.
we've had enough conversation. I had you on Revolt Black News. You talked to me about your father, who's a leader in law. Do you think for 1 second I'm about to push back on anything you just offered in that statement?
You can.
Right.
Right.
So I cannot. And so what I'm telling you is what you are applying now is not the facts as they were given to me. Ayala did not ask me, Ebony, would you date a bus driver that also had a real estate portfolio? Ayala did not ask me. Hold on now. Ebony, would you date a bus driver that also has a litany of franchises? Because you and your wife just bought 5, right? Six crystals.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't ask. That was not the framing of the question, Envy.
That was not.
If that had been the framing of the question, I would have said, Dr. Vons, where the fuck he at?
She said, Dr. Van Zandt, where the fuck he at? Like, yo, I love that she said that just now because, like, nobody playing these clips. And I've never listened to this whole interview. I'm not going to lie because I'm busy. And I'm here with y'all, fucking with y'all tonight. But I know I didn't listen to this because I just took what she said and I said, well, that's what she prefers for herself. So I'm not going to interrupt her. But that is not how Iyanla Van Zandt posited and posed the idea. To be honest with you, the way she posed it was like bus driver. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm looking at this thing on ZipRecruiter that says the MTA bus job category currently range between 35,000 and 117,000, with top earners in the 98th percentile making 148 annually. This is New York. This is a different kind of beast. Now, if you're an MTA bus driver making that, you must be some kind of like manager of the bus route or something like that. 35 is where you're starting off. I think that most people are somewhere in the median 60 or 70, which is decent. Nobody said bus driver is a bad career per se. It depends on where you're at. If you're driving the bus down in Miami, you're probably not making as much as you driving a bus up here. You're just not. You're not gonna be making as much as if you're just not. It's markets matter, guys. So if you want to be a bus driver, like for example, my husband's gonna come from Nigeria and he's gonna be a driver for a little bit. But we actually build Airbnb and short let apartments. So his first job gonna be right off the gate, right out the airport. He gonna be a driver. Okay, fine. But we already have plans for the other things he wants to do as well that he's going to pursue on his own with his driver money. And rather than me have to hand him some money, let him come and be a driver for a couple months, but he won't be a driver forever. And that's the thing. Aspire for more.
Properties that I own, or do you get to know that man and see what he's about?
But see, that's semantics now.
Y'all didn't listen to the whole Iyanla interview. Ebony actually agreed with Iyanla. That was confusing me because you actually agreed with Iyanla when she talked about, you should be open to dating a bus driver. You can build with a bus driver. You actually agreed with that. So that was confusing me.
You agreed with Iyanla, then also conflated more and said a loving man. Someone that loves what they does. There was a whole lot of other things. So she agreed that, of course, I want a loving man. I want a man that's passionate. I want a man with a plan. All the other things that came after the bus driver is what Ebony agreed to.
Yeah, so I say, why let the grill?
I didn't even realize my girls was a part of this. I actually haven't watched their podcast in a while, but that podcast, what is it? How does it go? It's kind of nasty, but I actually like these two girls a lot. They do be funny. They do be funny.
That is more salacious and out of context when you actually
That's
did
media.
agree.
Well, I'm not going to throw the grill under the bus. See what I did there? But what I am going to do, is say that we know the business that we are in. So you said something, Charlamagne, on the show yesterday. We're like, we're entertainers, and we have to not over index for our. Okay, so I want to be clear. My beloved, come on, y'all.
Hey guys. I know I'm not monetized, but I do need to get used to this. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowances is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Thank you, Robbie. I appreciate you. You always have my back, girl. Thank you. Yes, indeed. This fair use. I don't know how they feel about audio, but I'm over here just playing the interview off my other phone so y'all can hear. I'm not about to play the video.
I'm actually not an entertainer. I'm not. I'm an educator. I'm an advocate. I happen to use the form of television, radio, and podcasting to do my work. See, we can't conflate platform with purpose. So why did the griot and the brilliant, talented team of journalists over there decide to use the bus driver clip, which is sensational and controversial? Because let's be honest, the griot is not getting the eyeballs the Breakfast Club is getting. But black news is not getting the eyeballs the Breakfast Club is getting, or the View is getting, or the Talk used to get. Because the nature of not just black culture, of American culture is entertainment first. So you start doing the work of educating around where artificial intelligence is taking the culture, where you start doing the work about where criminal justice reform, how this summer, the U.S. Supreme Court, y'all, affirmative action, as we all know it, that shit is going. But no one is going to watch in the volume that we need to have the impact that I seek as a teacher in this world, Charlamagne, if we don't put out that clickbait. That's the reality.
So that's a fact.
Attention to a larger conversation.
And guess what? What we know, because we all sitting here today talking about this shit a week later, is it worked.
It worked. Ooh, it worked so hard that y'all niggas is talking about it every day. It worked so well that we have moved mountains in these YouTube streets, talking about what? A fucking bus driver? Excuse my language, but a bus driver? Listen, he chose to drive the bus and we gonna respect him. When I take the bus, I do take the bus every now and then when I want to go from my block all the way down to Fulton. I might want to get to the gym real quick, right? I might take the bus for 5 seconds and I'm respectful to the bus driver. Okay? And I'm an ordinary person just like anyone else. I'm not Ebony K. Williams. I suppose that Ebony K. Williams probably takes Lyft and Uber everywhere, has a driver and everything like that. So she's really not dealing with bus drivers like that. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real, though.
Feel like you doubled down.
I don't feel like I did.
Okay.
I stood 10 toes down.
But I think that was standing down, though. I think you completely took a different turn. That was
my boy. Salute.
No, you don't have, I feel you, but that has nothing that got nothing to do with it. Tina told us that. So go ahead.
Because to me, 10 toes down would have been like, yeah, this is the choice that I'm making. This is my preference. This is the type of man I want. What
Agreed.
I watched, were you talking about people as a whole?
Right.
And even white supremacy bringing up, saying average, to me, it felt like almost attack on the working class and the people that were in the comments more than it was the man you're looking for.
So let's address it, Weezy.
Okay, Weezy is right. Okay. Now, one thing I like about Weezy is she a little freaky nasty, but one thing about her is she is very well spoken. Okay. And I love her, man. These are my New York girls. I love these girls. What is the thing called? What is their what is that podcast called that they be doing? Hold on, let me see if I can pull up the podcast that I know I follow it. I haven't listened to it in a while, but it's like let me see. Let me see. Damn, if I could pull it up. If it comes to y'all mind, please, you know who I'm talking about. If y'all can tell me their podcast name, because I haven't listened in about a year, but
glad you brought that up because that is the turn that I took. So at this point, who gives a fuck about who Ebony K. Williams is dating? Let's throw that over to the side. It's irrelevant.
That's your preference.
And,
I agree.
And
Right.
Who gives a fuck, right? So now
Facts.
Let's talk about my real work in this world, the work God has called me to do, which is to always sit in a posture of elevating, advancing, and offering options to Black Americans for us to have a first-class existence. So when I talk about a permanent Black underclass, that's something that I talked about in
Be right back.
video, the Weezy site. A lot of people felt a way about that. What the fuck does she mean, a permanent Black underclass? What I mean is the data. So I sent Charlamagne a bar graph from the U.S. Census yesterday, and it listed about 15 different global identity. So again, you got to zoom out for this. This is not about Black folks and white folks in America. This is global. At the top of that, y'all, this is earning. Indian Americans earn more than anybody else in America. At the very bottom, Black Americans. So they were earning about $100,000 per year per average. Not a few, not half. 100% of their average is 100,000 plus. We were down here at around 28,000, 30,000. Okay, where are white people? In the Middle East. They weren't up here. So that's why I have a personal problem with a lot of the culture saying that we should not have to be excellent. We talked about this, Charlamagne, yesterday on the phone. We should get to be basically as mediocre, as average as white Americans. For me, that's a no. I'm going to tell you why. I travel the world. Y'all all travel the world. Y'all are global citizens, and we're blessed and privileged to do so. I got news for y'all. White mediocrity is depreciating fast. So I'm not going to hold white mediocrity, white subpar, white averageness as a standard for the generation of Black children we're raising today.
Well, what does America do without the working class?
First of all, it's not about not having a working class. It's saying that why do Black people, I'm so glad you asked this, why do Black people disproportionately occupy it? Now, you made a very good point yesterday, Charlamagne, talking about essential workers, okay? America found out, if we didn't know before, how essential our bus drivers, our MTA drivers, our home health nurses, our custodians, our grocery store workers were during fast food, all of it during COVID. And God knows we were ringing those pots and shouting them out. And God bless our essential workers. Nobody loves them more than your girl here. But you know what I don't love is that Black folks died at a 2-to-1 rate of during COVID, that Black folks were on ventilators more often during COVID. And part of the reason why that was the case, y'all, is because we over-index in the blue-collar working sector, in the essential jobs. And many of us don't have the option that we all had, which was to do our jobs virtually. So we are on the front lines in a way that disproportionately makes us vulnerable. We're dying because of it. That is my issue. Not to disrespect these people.
I feel like you're changing the goalposts, right? What people were upset about was what you said, and everything that you said could absolutely positively be true. People were upset that they felt like that you were putting down the average person, quote unquote, average job, and the person that was working the average job, that their what they do is not as good as what you do.
That's a projection, Envy. Envy, that's a projection. Because what?
I'll let you speak.
Go ahead.
So when you start talking about all this, and I read the comments just like you did because I wanted to prepare myself when you came up here to understand what people were.
I felt like putting on my mom's old jewelry. Rest in peace.
Understand what people were upset about. So when we're talking about all this brother this and the Black man this and the white supremacy this and this, that, and the other. That's all to the side of how you felt about that quote unquote average job, right? And I'll be honest with you, right? One of the comments that I said, and maybe I'm not sure, right? The guy was like, you talk about all this about lifting the brother up and lifting this up and white supremacy and what you do for our people. And then the first thing the brother said was, but your fiance was white. And I'm sitting there like,
so
how do you talk about how much you're uplifting, how much you're going for Black people, but that's not necessarily what you're even looking for.
So,
Paging Dr. Umar, damn.
So,
let's address it. And let's not.
Hey, so what? So what? So what? She dated a white man. Robert F. Smith is married to a Playboy bunny, but he did manage to pay off a class of maybe 40 or 50, maybe 100 Black men at, was it Spelman? I don't even know where. Spelman is the female one, right? Was it Clark Atlanta or I forget Morehouse or where it was, but he paid off some people, right? He was able to pay off some people's tuition. So he paid off tuition even though his wife is a Caucasian Playboy bunny. So I'm just trying to understand, like, why can't you be pro-Black without dating someone Black? Since everybody else got the opportunity to have their preference, why is it that in this community, Black women can't have their preference? Well, I'm going to tell you what. My fiance was Italian. My current fiance is Nigerian. And they both have one thing in common. A long, straight nose. That's my preference. So it is what it is. It is what it is.
Oh, let's not skip a beat. Mm-hmm. So I would love to know how you, Envy, know what I'm looking for. We never had the conversation.
I'm telling you what people are saying on comments what I've read, and I'm talking for them. I'm not a bus driver. I'm speaking for them.
Oh, we know you're not a bus driver.
I feel for them because
we know. We know
that
you're not a bus driver. Where is the file?
Nobody is saying, first of all, this is not about you.
This is about how I feel. So when you ship on,
I see you in the back, girl. Give me a second. I'm about to bring you up in 1 second. I just need to find one thing I can't find over here.
I know it. First of all, I know it wasn't. I think what you're saying right now is irresponsible. I think what you're saying is irresponsible. I think what you are framing right now in this moment is highly irresponsible. Because if you listen, I'm going to tell you. Because if you were to listen to all of the full Iyanla interview, the full sidebar, the full episode of Holding Court, nowhere in any of that commentary did I say a cross or negative word about the working class of Black America, of America broadly, or Black men. I'm going to get to the why was my fiance. MB, let me finish this statement.
You know what
I'm
people
going
feel.
to get to.
Just because
But
you
I
didn't
don't
mean to
deal
hurt
in
somebody,
feelings.
just
First
because
of
you
all,
didn't
I
mean to
don't
affect
deal.
somebody doesn't mean you didn't hurt a community.
I
I
don't
can say
deal
anything
in
about somebody,
feelings.
but like I didn't mean to hurt you. But if you hurt people, you hurt people. If people feel a way about you, they feel a way about you because those people that you talked about are the people that buy your books, that listen to this show, and they're hurt.
What about, Ebony, what about words like
Why is it that every time, because I've noticed that when I get heated, my voice will go several octaves because this and because I'm a Fulani and we are born with vocals. And so I have octaves for days. When I say LaGuardia High School, I have octaves for days. That's what the fuck I mean. So, to be honest with you, why is it that every time Black women don't agree with something or they prefer something, we're hurting feelings? Yet nobody likes us, though. Yet nobody likes us, yet every fucking time we do something, we're hurting feelings. So I'm trying to understand, like, if they not watch enough, if they don't like us, then how do we hurt their feelings when we say no bus drivers? When we say no bus drivers. How are we hurting their feelings when the reality is they don't like us anyway, so what is the fucking problem? Now, Royce M., I also have a problem with us disproportionately occupying the middle class, but what game is Ebony putting us up on? We know this and we're not proud about it. I get you, bro. I really do. But the thing is that, like, she's saying it because even though some of us, we have listen, we are YouTube. We are kind of some intelligent Black people. We have a lot to discuss. We have a lot on our minds. But ordinary people, they don't know that. They don't know that, you know? Let me bring my girl leaked up.
Hey.
What's up?
Oh,
Hold
nothing.
on. Why can I not?
Just made the best dinner.
Shit. Why can I not hear you?
Oh, you can't hear me?
I know you're not muted because it doesn't look like you're muted. But maybe it's on the stream. Okay, here we go. Hello?
Hello?
I can't hear. I can't hear you.
Hello?
Wait, maybe it's just the volume on my laptop because I deadass don't. Because that don't make no sense. Yeah, it's the volume on my laptop. Go.
Hello?
It's the volume on my laptop. I'm a
Hey.
loser, man. Like, because usually I use my iMac, but the processing time is so slow now. What do you think about all this, girl?
This bus driver convo is getting on my nerves, okay? This is the
I
thing.
swear.
No, you know what gets me too? Because obviously we know the stereotypes when it comes to Black women. The single, the baby mama, the unmarried. Like, we get it, right? But some of us don't fit those stereotypes, right? So, that being said, is like, since all of these channels want to have this conversation, they're all pretty much saying the same thing. If you're in the comments, like for example, earlier in Lapeef,
Oh my
that
God.
dude, oh my God, he just be like ready to just.
Can you just, before you get into the details of Lapeef,
I'm sorry.
tell me what you think. Let's get to Lapeef in a second.
Okay.
But tell me what you think about what Ebony just said about us being in the permanent underclass and et cetera, and what this man just wrote, what Royce just wrote here. Because I think that is really what this conversation is about. What do you think about this?
Well, I think that people have selective outrage. It's like you had said, in general, ordinary people are thinking about ordinary things. They're not thinking about, I would say this, most people aren't necessarily deep thinkers today. Whatever they see on TV, they go along with. A lot of people don't think for themselves. That being said, it's like what Ebony's saying about us being like, most of us are in the middle class, right?
That's right.
Whether it's lower, upper, whatever.
That's
It's
right.
still the middle class.
We in the middle class. And I swear, it don't matter what kind of money you make in New York, you're always in the lower middle class because this shit keep going up. Keep going.
And yeah, and I can't even imagine what it's like to live out there. Like, absolutely not.
My grocery bill just beeps.
I believe it. I believe it.
Why?
And see, that's the thing. It's just like, I don't see anything wrong with what she said. I can see how a clip or say a whole entire long video can be edited to look like one thing, because when they first started talking about this, it was, oh, Ebony shitting on the black community, she's shitting on black men, and I'm just like, okay, obviously either my ear is not working or y'all's ear is not working. But I've heard these clips several times, and I get the same thing each time. And I know a lot of people are, oh, sister code and girl code, all that other bullshit. I'm on none of that. If she was wrong, I would have said she was wrong. You know what I'm saying? I don't do this, oh, because she's a woman or because she's a black woman. I just agree. I don't.
But how could she? My thing is, if she was wrong, but how could she be wrong about her own preference?
That's what I'm trying. You know what? And that's the thing. Because they talk out two sides of their neck. They'll say people have preferences. And women are hypergamous, and women want a man that's better than them. I'm like, okay, so tell me, okay, I looked up her net worth. She's worth a few $1,000,000. If the average person is not even close to being worth that, and if y'all claim that women are hypergamous, why would she be with someone that's average? Explain that to me.
Well, that's a great question, especially when we look at her. I mean, look at her.
She's pretty for 40. I know everyone wants to dog her age, but she's quite pretty for 40.
She's a very good-looking woman.
Right. So I'm just
Stop
like,
it. Y'all gotta stop.
Right. They like dragging her like, okay.
The way y'all be falling over certain people in these YouTube streets, and she's way prettier than them. So
and see, that's the thing. At least we can be honest, because some people, they can't even be honest when it comes to looks. It's just like, she's pretty. Yes, I believe, I will say, I believe she could have been married before. You know, she could have gotten married if she wanted to, right? But based off what I looked up, you know, she had a fiance during the pandemic and she left him. I don't know, you know, whatever.
Everybody had a boo in the pandemic. I did not. I went the other way. I had a boo, and when the pandemic happened, he was here with me, and it was like a week. That was my homeboy, one of my tightest boys. Even he was my friend. He's still my friend today. This is the contract I told you about. And I was like, listen, bro, we can't struggle together. You gotta go. And he wasn't even living with me. He just loves me so much with his heart. But like, bro, I can't look at you and then we struggling through this. You go struggle on your own, I go struggle on my own, and we'll come back together.
You know what?
It's too much stress. I'm an only child, so I can't fuck with all this. I can't fuck with certain levels of stress. So nah, I wasn't about to keep nobody up in my space and in my ear. COVID time was actually a great time for me because it was a very creative time for me. It was an opportunity for me to get up away from that corporate bullshit and really be creative. Trust me.
I can believe it.
She's right. Her preferences, she has earned the life that everybody wants.
Right.
She's gorgeous, well-spoken, and she's fun. One thing I liked about Ebony when I saw her, I forget how I ran into her, what show she was on before she went into the Housewives, but she had the most light and jovial demeanor, and she was just one of the people you knew you could kick it with her. She was a lawyer. You knew she was a lawyer at times, but you also knew she was wild at times. And I think I might have seen her on that podcast with those two girls. That's actually where I might have seen her. But I enjoyed everything she was saying because she's fun. She knows how to put her words together. She's a lawyer. So she can be very cheeky and funny. You know, like, if she wanted to be married, I bet she could have, like you said.
Yeah, and that's the thing. This idea that it's like, okay, based off of reality, we know that obviously the chances of getting married go down as you get older. We get that. But at the same time,
I wish they would stop saying that shit. I had a boss that got married at 56.
But see, that's the thing, and that's what I was about to go into. I was about to go into that. At the same time, nowadays, there's people obviously get married at all ages. One, two, it's like, we know that obviously there's more men alike than not, but there are people that are different still. I mean, we're human, right? But at the same time, when you think about it, there's many men who are in their 40s. They've never been married, and even though there's this talking point that they all want women my age, there's a lot of them that say, "Hell no, I don't want a woman that's that young. I
Yeah,
want a woman that's my age." I've
I know
heard
a
it
lot of men who are
more
like,
than not.
nah, I can't go up, I can't go so down in age because then generationally we don't have anything in common music wise or whatever the case is. And there are a lot of people like that in general. They go and date somebody close, but
Right.
that's
There's
most
a
people.
whole lot. They'd not be different if we were maybe a few hundred years ago. That make more sense. But from what I've seen, because I'm constantly analyzing what everyone's saying, and the general consensus is most men who are in their 40s, from what I have heard, they generally say they want people around their age. I don't see
Hmm.
a plethora of men that want women that's my age or younger. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying there's not a lot out there that do.
Hmm.
But this whole idea that men have embedded into their minds that they like permanently, right? That
Hmm.
the women they want are 22 or 23, whatever, right?
No, I think that's a projection that these men in YouTube, this is YouTube streets. I don't
Girl,
think that
I
shit is
know.
real. It's a projection.
Right, I think it is too.
Hmm.
Because when you think about it, it's like I think okay, you know the statistic that everyone loves to use that um most black men like over 50, 51, 52, whatever percent of black men don't have children.
I
But
never, I don't believe that shit. Go,
I don't believe it for this reason. I had
please.
recently heard from someone else that that's okay, when they quote that, they act like they're including every man
Mm-mm.
18 to 100 or some shit. They're not. It's a certain type of it's a certain age range that
Mm-hmm.
they're including, which makes sense considering they say, a lot of men aren't getting sex today.
Yep.
Okay, I get that, right?
Hmm.
But when we think about it, I'm just like most men who are in their 40s have children last time I checked.
And I think it also has something to do. I know I heard this a couple years ago. I don't know how true this is, but it's also like who signs the birth certificate. If you don't sign, then it's like you don't have no kid, but he might.
Exactly.
So that excludes a whole lot of niggas because a whole lot of you niggas just be MIA and y'all don't sign birth certificates. So the reality is like we don't know. These statistics can be skewed and they can also present very different narratives because
Mm-hmm.
um, numbers are true, but people are not. So at the end of the day, it's all about how they interpret and deliver the message along with the numbers and the stats. I
Mm-hmm.
don't believe that every black man I know has children. I think I might know like one or two black men, including my husband, who don't have children. Every single one across this world have children. So I'm trying to understand like where that happened at, where it was only 51% of y'all. Because I mean, every time I see women, all I see is it don't matter what color the woman is. I see some curly fro coming out their baby head. And so I know a black nigga to lay down with you. Now,
That being said,
now.
it's like
And this
I
one is for this gentleman who said he didn't know what she looked like. GQ, but this what she looked like. Make your own assessments. But I find that she's real pretty.
girl, we already know these men would be foaming at the damn mouth like a fucking
You feel
like they're
me?
having a damn seizure if she was to come on one of those panels. Come on, keep it real.
Real, and she's really like naturally beautiful too without makeup. And one of the things too is like that's another proof that like the BBL, that's ridiculous because you just have to have face card. Like BBL is not necessary. Because the reality is like some of these women getting these BBLs, like men would not look at you if you didn't have it because you don't have face card. I thought about it, and then I say to myself, like, I'm good. Like I'm good. Like this because one thing I learned is that a BBL ain't gonna change my complexion, and most niggas don't want no black dark skinned woman. So at the end of the day, like, what is the point of me cutting up my body for something when I know most of the time they're not looking? So these men who are so pro black, right? They don't. It's really because this is the kind of woman they prefer, and this is something that Cynthia G said earlier. This is a preference in the black community. Do you understand what I'm saying? She's got certain kind of genes. I don't know if she's actually mixed, but she doesn't claim that.
Her
And
hair
like
looks real. I know how to spot a weave, and her hair looks real as fuck.
and if anything, she probably just, when you have a nice texture hair, even I can do it sometimes. You leave the top out and then you just put a couple tracks for the length in the back. So that actually might be what she's doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Never
But
know.
like, who cares if that's what she's doing? Becky's
Right.
doing it too, except when she does it, or when I do it, or when other Black women do it, it's a problem. I haven't heard so much discussion about weave and eyelashes and all this nonsense. And I just think like real men have better things to talk about, like real estate development, um, gap accounting principles, like, um, you know, building the community, creating something for people. These are the things that I thought men were supposed to speak about. So I don't know if there's something else, you let me know.
No, I hear you. I hear you completely. One thing I wanted to finish off saying with what I was talking about, the statistics and whatnot. I brought that up because when you think about it, in my opinion, it makes sense why a lot of men who are 40 plus wouldn't want women that are younger. A lot of them already have children. Their children are grown more than likely, and some of them don't want more children.
Yeah.
So it would make sense for them to say, "Oh, I'm good with someone who's older," because typically when they get with younger women, either they just want a good time, one, or they want more kids, right? So it makes sense. But there's men who want more kids, and or they never had a kid. Fine, maybe they're 40 and never had a kid, and that's what they want, and they want someone younger. Fine, right?
Right.
But this whole idea that, um, you know what I'm saying, like
A 41-year-old man should be with a 22-year-old woman. That whole thing is ridiculous.
I say go with what you want. See,
Do what you want.
I have talked to older men.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, this is my thing. I don't necessarily have I want a man that's older than me, let's put it like that.
Yep.
He doesn't have to be extremely older. He doesn't have to be 20, 30, 40
That's
years older
right.
than me, right? But if he was a good man, and if he happened to be 20 years older, I'm not looking at that necessarily, right? But I just say go with what you want. But uh I personally, I say if you want a younger woman, if you want an older woman, do what you want. I'm not the type of person to tell someone that they're wrong because if they want someone that's younger or older.
Not
As
at all.
long as they're an adult, I don't give a shit. That's why on both sides, when it comes to men or women shaming or whatever because of that shit, I'm just like, it's none of your business.
It's none of your business
Is
at
it your
all.
box? Is it your D? Then I mean,
Not
what's
at
the
all.
problem?
Not
What's
at
the
all.
problem? So it's just like,
I don't police other women and what they do with their sexuality. I don't care. It doesn't. I can't have your baby, ma'am. So I don't care what you do with your vagina at all. So that's really how I feel about it. Like, the thing with the statistics is like, who gives a damn? Who is standing in front of you today when you're walking up the block, when you're going home, when you're grocery shopping, when you're around your family and friends? Who is in front of you? That's the only person that matters. Like,
I
all
agree.
of this looking out into, see, there's nothing wrong with having social media, but I have found that, like, I came up in the very right time. Like, I am the generation of Mark Zuckerberg. I am a millennial on the nose, which means that I know how to disconnect from this motherfucker. I mean, I haven't looked at IG in a couple days, I swear. And it's just, I look when I post. And my thing is like, people are living too much for other people's preferences. Okay?
Oh my gosh, say that again. Say it
People,
again.
now listen, men, what you're really worried about is what your friends think about the girl you choose. Oh, my friend might think that she's too big.
That's
My
weird to
friend might think
me.
that she's too black. My friend might think that she's too white. My friend might think that she's too old. My friend might think that her titties is saggy, even though I love her saggy titties and I love playing with her saggy titties. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, and that's what I mostly see. It's about, in my opinion, it was like that even like in high school. But I think it comes a time when you're grown, especially, and I always quote this because let's be honest, 9 times out of 10, the men that are on these panels, most of them are not my age. They be 35 plus, sometimes 60 plus. Okay, so y'all grown as hell.
Girl, I'm 36. They be older than me. They be like 45 plus.
Oh, that's what I wanted to say. I was trying to be nice. But it's just
The
like
35 plus ones are the cool ones, like Anton and them. They right at 40, 41. They cool still. But
yeah, you're
like,
right. You're right.
but when I think about Mr. Payne, I love Mr. Payne. But you see that, let's go to Lapeef because I know we were going to talk about that, right? You watched that panel I was on earlier today. I love Mr. Payne. He's one of my favorite men. You know why I respect him so much? Because he was married and he stayed married and he's still married. And he chose someone young and he stayed with her. But what I find is that everything defaults to sex with him. And what that says to me is that like maybe sex is not happening like it used to in your relationship,
Mm.
which is why you default to it so much. So all of his preferential, like everything that he says in terms of like what he would like in treatment is always centered around sex, which I know men love sex and women love sex and humans love sex. But my
Right.
thing is like we need more to talk about as opposed to just your loins and what they want to do and how you
Oh my
feel
god.
and how you feel when you look at a woman when you have a woman that you've been with for damn near 50 years. And like I respect a lot of the things that he says, but the energy that he gives sometimes just it slights me because it's like you made a choice. Now live with your choice.
I agree, and that's a problem I have with. Let me just say this. Um, from what I'm not going to name names, but
Mhm.
most of the men that are actually married that come on these
Mhm.
panels,
Mhm.
they don't even act like they're fucking married, and
Not
that's
at
my
all.
problem. You
Not
know
at
what I'm
all.
saying? It's just like now you can say you can't tell a man what to. I get that, whatever.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but at the end of the day, especially when you I've been married for 20 years. I've been married
Mhm.
for 30 years. Like, okay, so
It's
you should
true.
have you should have a certain type of standard of how you carry yourself. Because it's no different than a woman claiming to be, I've been married 20, 30 years, but you on the fucking panel acting a damn fool.
Exactly. People
So
get
it's
mad when I say certain things, but y'all, like I'm literally married like 3, 4 months and my guy is not here. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. But trust, believe, when I'm pregnant, I won't be on these panels. People are asking me if I'm pregnant. Y'all think if I was pregnant, I'd be sitting here with y'all? Oh no, I would
oh
not.
hell no, because you're gonna be
My
stressed
husband
the
gonna be
fuck
rubbing my
out. Like who
back,
has time for that?
rubbing my feet. Mm-hmm. He gonna be like, "Can I hold you by the stove while you cook?" I'll be like, "Okay, baby. Oh, I love you. I love you. Monifere, monifere. I love you. Okomi, monifere, sha. I love you." That's how it's gonna be when my husband gets here. I won't have no time for y'all. None.
And that's
Not gonna
good, and
happen.
that's how it's supposed to be at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day. Cause um like I I find it interesting that, and I noticed you had even said that everything defaults with him to sex. You mentioned it many times in the chat, and it's just like
Oh,
I
you be
think,
seeing when I say that, huh?
yeah,
I
I
don't want to be
see
rude
it.
to him because he's actually a very intelligent man. But I see that, and it go.
Right? He's just I don't know. I just think it's weird
It's weird.
because it's like I'm not saying that your opinion doesn't matter now that or things that you're saying doesn't matter simply because you're married. That's not what I'm saying. But at the same time, I don't understand like a lot of these dudes they don't even talk like they've been in relationships for decades.
So
They
what you're
talk like
saying?
just another single man. And I
So
think
what you're
it's
saying is, listen, we don't care about what you say as long as you come from a married man's vantage point. What is the point of you being married and telling us you're married if everything that you say and comes out of your mouth sounds like one of the fuck boys downstairs outside on the corner?
oh my god. Yes, and this is why I fuck with you, Black.
Hmm.
Because oh, girl, that's what I'm talking
Somebody had
about.
the nerve to call me arrogant earlier.
That shit threw me, girl.
Arrogant? Are you hold on, wait a second. I'm 36 with no children out of wedlock, making 170 a year. What do y'all niggas think this is? When you say arrogance, exactly what is you talking about?
I think it's what I think it is.
It's a straight nose, girl. That's what it is. I swear that's what it is.
I think I'm just gonna say this. Now we can pretend and play house like we did when we were kids, and pretend like men don't care about how much money women make. Okay, let's
These
let's
niggas
let's
do.
fucking pretend,
These niggas
and
is
let's talk
marrying up.
about black people. Let's
These
talk about
niggas in our community are practicing hypergamy on us.
and hold on. It's funny that you even mentioned that because it's like now I'm not gonna like obviously I don't even necessarily have to say, oh, not all, because hit dogs holler if
We
you
don't
fucking
need to say
feel
not
offended.
all. We're not here
Right.
to placate your feelings, sir. We're gonna say what we want over here. This is the ladies' hour, right? We don't need to say not all. If a hit dog holler, then it is what it is.
I agree. I just think that there's too many in the black community, 9 times out of 10, from what I see, this whole men don't care about your money. I think a lot of men do, from what I've seen, because it's just like, if you didn't, let's put it like this, if the man didn't care about her money, he would have to be in a position where he could hold shit down by himself
Yo,
financially, right?
yo.
So if he's not in that position, if you make average money, which, like I said, I mean, I'm average. I don't fucking care about
You
that.
know, you
But
got me. You know what you got me thinking about? I was watching 6 Channel last night, catching up on some of her videos, and she had a video of a man who was driving. I don't know if you saw it. He was driving cross county or whatever to go find some lady that he met online, a big 6 foot, 350 pound type dude. And he was talking about how she wasn't picking up her phone no more. Like, I so want to play her channel. You know what I'm saying? Because this in particular had me dying. I'm gonna try to find it while you speak because they are
okay.
practicing hypergamy on us. Trust me.
And it's just like, there's that, like, yeah, so that being said, it's like, we live in a world, or let's just say a country, where it's not necessarily the norm for the man alone across the board, no matter the race. Let's just put all races together in the US right now. Across the board, it's usually 50-50. 9 times out of 10, it's not the man's holding it down, and financially anyways, right? Which obviously that's how it is nowadays. There's, we can pretend like all men are, quote, let's say, traditional, and you know uh they they want wives, and they want to hold down everything financially, and whatever, because that's not the case. I see more men than not that he's worried about how much money the woman's making, because the thing is, in order for you to hold down things financially, let me say this, you would have to be at least above average financially. You can't be on the borderline average. You would have to be at least above. Now, obviously, depends on the state. Obviously, depends on your family, your situation. We get that, but there's a lot of things that go into that. It's not just a blanket statement that, oh well, I don't need her money. I'm like, statistics say otherwise. Reality says otherwise. So it's just like, that being said, obviously, I'm not downing guys for that. That's just how it is. But um I just think
So
that,
the thing is, you have to be above average financially because technically you're gonna be taking over for somebody else. So now, whereas
right.
you can manage your one self by yourself, that's fine. Anybody can manage themselves on 40,000. I'm dead ass serious. You can make
No,
it
no,
happen.
for real, you
You
can.
can. You can get yourself a little room. You can make it happen. Eat low and just stay healthy. Go to the gym for a couple of. You can do that. But once you start involving another person, now add that 40, multiply that by 2. Now you have to have some kids. Let's say the kid is half of 40, 20, 20. And you have 2 kids. Now add another 40, 20 for each. Now you're at 120,000 needed for you and your children, your 2 children, your wife. And that's low. And depending on where you're that's high in some places, but low depending on where you live. So you do need to be above average financially if you are expecting women to come with a certain sensuality and sexuality that only hypergamy can give. Now I want to play for you. DB said, that's why I hate these manosphere talking points. These men just be talking and talk. They do.
They
They just
do. They do, and it's just like, there's a handful of people, that I rock with, and they state like they're not talking out of both sides of their neck, but the
Mhm.
majority, you go to almost any channel, it's the same fucking bullshit. And I'm the type of person, I call out bullshit whether it's a man or a woman. I don't
Mhm.
fucking care.
Mhm.
Well, I don't care what race you are. If you're on bullshit, I'm gonna call you out on it. But the thing is, as a woman, you can't call them out on their shit 9 times out of 10 because they'll just fucking gaslight you and pretend like it's not fucking happening. Oh, you're being disrespectful, which I don't come up on panels and disrespect people. So if anyone ever tried that shit with me, anyways, I would just fucking laugh because.
Did you hear him getting in my ass earlier? I don't know who that man was. First of all,
I know who he is. He's always on Chaotix panels, and I've never talked to him personally, but in the chat, and he always gets real riled up and in his fucking feelings and shit.
But don't men know that when you get riled up and act like that towards women, it's like the pussy goes dry? Like,
oh
don't
yeah,
don't they understand that by you
Desert.
doing that, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, Sahara Desert.
Don't they exactly Sahara Desert? Just like that. Don't they know that by getting in my ear and going at the highest octave possible, even higher than my high, like you are hitting highs that even Mariah can't hit. I beg you. I'm trying to understand why you are hitting these highs when you are talking to me, a woman who is not in your purview, who is not around you, who comes on this show for Trigger Mike because I fuck with Trigger Mike because Trigger Mike is a hardworking motherfucking Nigerian American. And I know that man provides for his wife. And I know he's okay with his wife being intelligent because that's how they were raised, with a community of people trying to really build together, and the wife trying to outdo the husband and the husband trying to outdo the wife. And that's why the whole family is good. A little friendly competition in your marriage is cool. It brings everybody to another level.
It's interesting that you brought that up, actually, because this is the thing, right? Okay. Like, obviously, like, well, I want to say obviously. Well, I'm not African or Nigerian or whatever.
You don't have
right?
to be.
But my point is that obviously, as we know over here with Black Americans, African Americans, like.
Okay, let me talk about my uncle. My uncle, he's an African American, right? And let me tell you how my uncle had one lady, had two. He was married. My uncle's Muslim since I was a child. My uncle.
Oh, okay.
And he's an African American, raised by my grandmother and my grandpa from the Bronx, etc. Now he just went to North Carolina. He has 7 children, and let me tell you, Aunt Genevieve was married to him when he had his first 2 sons. They divorced. Then he properly married Aunt Claire, had 4 sons with Aunt Claire. Then he had my cousin Asada. So what I'm saying is 6 boys and 1 girl, 2 marriages, he did it right. And now the woman he is with now, who he just married like 3 years ago or 4 years ago, a fine African American woman, real cool, real nice. They both got their own kids. They don't need kids. They're just enjoying the latter part of their lives together. He's on his 3rd marriage. He did it right. That is an African American man. You don't have to reach into Nigeria. You don't have to reach into the Caribbean. Honestly, there are next door neighbors of yours who do it better than these men on these panels.
I agree.
Downstairs, my own landlord is a black married man. He's married to a Puerto Rican, but they get passes because Puerto Ricans got African in them. They get passes. They get a little pass. Boricua. Claro. You get a little pass. Because you know why I get Puerto Ricans pass? Because they tend to understand and respect even more than Dominicans, who are really black. They tend to understand and respect their African culture. So I'll give them the pass. But he's married to a nice Puerto Rican correction officer lady. They build their whole shit together. And that is my landlord. And he's a wonderful black man. So we don't have to reach to Nigeria. I do that because that's what I like. But at the end of the day, we don't have to reach for Nigeria. We don't. They're all over this place. And there are plenty of black men who would never catch themselves on this panel degrading other black women, whether they found them unattractive or not. They would never. I have friends who they would never participate in the level of conversation that's happening here. Never. And they're Black American men.
I think because we're on the internet and most people think that they're quote untouchable. They're untouchable. They could say and do whatever they want because it's the internet. When we constantly see, no matter, okay, the moment, the woman doesn't have to be drop dead fucking gorgeous. she can just be cute. Doesn't even matter. She's just a woman, right? The
Mhm.
moment a woman joins the panel, the energy changes. People are
Mhm.
foaming at the fucking mouth, right?
Always.
Grown ass man. It doesn't matter how old they are. I mean, this even happens if I play a fucking video game. The guys find out you're a fucking girl. They're going batshit crazy, right? That's
They
just how it
do.
is,
I've
right?
seen other youngins play it, like one of my homegirls' sons, and then sometime a girl will come on and they're like, "Oh shit," you know.
Right, right. But that's just how it is, and
She
there's
plays
nothing
Call of
wrong with
Duty.
that. But when they pretend like a lot of them that pretend that they're so solid and they have all these principles and these standards, and the fucking moment a fucking chick enters the panel,
Mhm.
it's they're fucking kissing her fucking feet, and it's just
Mhm.
like there's fucking simping over. They don't you even
Mhm.
know this chick. You don't even
Exactly.
know these women. You're giving her. You're just and the thing is, it's like I'll just sit back and I'll be laughing because I'm just like, and then y'all wonder why y'all have the problems you do with women and these women fucking you over because you literally have no brain when it comes to being around a woman. All you think with your dick,
Mhm.
like, and in my opinion, I think there's just too much fucking Arrested Development. And that's
Yes.
my there's too
Yes.
much of it. It's just
Yes.
I used to always wonder growing up why people always told me, "Oh, you seem older than your
For your
age.
age.
You're
Yeah.
older for your age." And I didn't understand
You're
it
not.
until
You're
I
half of
got
your age.
older. And I'm
Mhm.
like, you know what? I think that there was a time, like for example, my granddad, he'll be 94
Mhm.
this week, I think.
Oh, thank God. God bless him.
Um, thanks.
God bless.
And when he was 14, he was considered to be a man.
That's a
A
salute for
man.
grandpa. We gonna celebrate people who get it past 90. My grandma got to 89. We was trying to throw her 90th birthday. Salute to your grandfather, yo.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, like in those times, which would have been but the 40s, he was considered to be a grown ass man at 14 years old. There
I
was
know.
no, oh, you're a child, you're a
Mhm.
little boy at 14. Because let's
Mhm.
fucking keep it real. Biology says otherwise.
Biology says what it say.
It
It do
says
what it
it
do.
says what it says, regardless if they tomorrow tell us that we're all not adults until we're fucking 30 years old.
They
And
gonna be doing that, by the way. They're gonna be saying
I believe.
21, 25, 20.
I believe that it's done by design. I'm not going to have that discussion right now
No, that's
necessarily,
another conversation I will
but
have. Yes.
that's a discussion that some people aren't able to have because they get too deep in their feelings and
I can have that conversation honestly because though professionally I am a grown ass woman, I do immature shit because I always try to hold on to my youth, but that shit is done. That shit is over. So, like, I get you on that. And a lot of men in these spaces have arrested development. They're still behaving and talking as if they're 17-year-old women passing girls at the lunch table and they
oh
have all
my
these
god.
options. When the reality is they go to work, they come home, they see all these women. Maybe they might see them on the train, but if they don't live in a metropolitan city like how I see, they don't be seeing no women. If they don't live in a metropolitan city where they have to take transportation, and even if they drive, they're running into thousands of people, like you can meet people in certain places. But if you're in a kind of place where you drive to work and there's really nobody on the street, and then you come home and it's just you, your wife, and a couple people, I mean, maybe you just need to expose yourself to more community. Maybe you need to get out more and start to mingle more. And some of these men, they just need friendships with women. They don't necessarily need sexual relationships with women. They have a girlfriend, they have a wife. Maybe they just need other women to just make, because women bring great energy to life. So if you need a couple homegirls, and go make some friends. I am not the kind of woman who keeps a man from having female friends. I think there's a nice balance in men having some female friends and male friends. If you're a guy who has too many male friends, I might look at you funny. I might be like, well, is he into that prison life, that thug life? I'm trying to see. So,
Let me ask you this, because then there's another extreme when a man he has friends that are women, but he has no male friends. I think
that's too much. That
that's
says
a red flag in my opinion
what
because
that says to me is that you trying to be in my space and get the favor that I get as a woman. That's kind of like almost like how some of the LGBT are, where it's like you want to be a woman because you want to be able to rest in your femininity, kick your feet up, and let somebody else build this world for you. And I think
oh my god, no, you didn't just say
I hate you. You just be bringing me to the place.
oh my
Look,
god, you be cracking me up. Like
I'm
what
dead
the?
ass. I'm so serious.
I know you are. That's the
I'm
thing, because
serious
it's just
because
like
it's not even about money. Like, you see, my man's coming from Niger. He's gonna be poor when he gets here. He will grow. But the reality is that it's not about money. His mentality, how he carries on life, how he does things is so masculine. Everything that I say, okay, come to America, you're gonna be all right. Things is gonna be right because you have your masculine frame is intact.
you know what though?
Intact.
It's interesting that you even brought that up, because when people, when they first meet you on these panels,
Mhm,
whatever reservations they have about you, they do.
mhm,
Whatever. But the thing is, whenever, because obviously you've been married for a few months now, because you're like, I mean,
Mm.
you're not single anymore. Like, oh shit, girl, I'm married,
Mm-mm.
right? So I mean, that's something, and the way you brag about it, right?
Mhm.
Which, I mean, you should, because when I get married one day, I'm like, oh shit, I'm married, whatever. My point is, whenever you do that, it's like I always see the men. It's not the women. It's always the men that feel a certain type of way or something. It's just like,
Yeah,
oh,
because the thing
she's
is, they
married now.
wanted to. Hey, let me tell you, they wanted to come on the panel and tell me how unattractive and black and not special
Yeah,
and
you're
not
not pretty and
cool
all
that
this
I
other
am,
bullshit.
and how they don't give a fuck what my opinion is because I'm not their preference. And then when
Right.
I take myself away from their options, which is how, honestly, that's how it's been my whole life, because I dated all different types of guys, and whether we had sex or not, you could catch me walking down the street with an Asian guy or a Puerto Rican or an Italian, and I dated plenty different types of black, including black Americans. So my thing is, like, you can't tell me that I'm not attractive if all these men from all these cultures believe so. I mean, I have men literally, when I'm walking around the park, stopping their car and being like, my God, a beautiful woman. So my thing is, like, I don't business with what these men say because their feelings are hurt. What they want is, they want the same thing that they wanted from Ebony K. They want me to care about their feelings, which I don't care about. The only men's
It
feelings I
sounds
care about
feminine.
are my husband's feelings. And yes, I brag about it. Why shouldn't I brag about it? There's so many people out here worried about how they're going to get a husband. There's so many people out here worried about whether women will ever have husbands, especially women that look like me. They worry. Oh, but it's really crazy because there are women all over this world that look just like me that have been married for years.
And see, that's the thing people tend to forget. The world has like 8 billion people now.
Leslie Jones included. You can go to Nigeria or anywhere in West Africa and find 100 Leslie Jones that have husbands and legacy and family.
And see, that's the thing. I think this idea that
Leslie Jones, take your ass to Africa and go get your man. Stop playing with these white niggas out here. These white niggas don't listen. Leslie Jones, go get your man. He out there in West Africa, and he don't have to be poor too. Trust me. If you tall and you got some childbearing hips, he gonna take care of you. So that's a fact.
girl.
Shout out to Nightish, my guy. Salute to my guy Nightish. Okay, Nightish is actually a man that I enjoy speaking to because he's level-headed.
I think he's really level too, and I can
Cool.
respect that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that um like, okay, let's just say this. There's too many, we constantly hear that women are the only ones that are delusional when it comes to, wanting this perfect guy with his perfect body and his face is perfect. Like, everything's perfect, right? It's what we hear
Mm-hmm.
about.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I see more often than not, I see a bunch of men, whether they're qualified to get this or not, right? I see more often than not the men shooting for the stars,
Yes.
just like a lot of the quote
In the
delusional
galaxy, like
women.
their eyes
Right.
have been dreaming all day. Like, I know you said you had a career and a job, but you've been in Fantasyland the whole day on this panel. And I only came to blaze this panel for 15 minutes and I got to get back to work because I actually work. So, like, when you say you work and you sit in a panel for 5 hours with Trigger Mike, but you're yelling at me, but I don't give a fuck because I'm married. And at the end of the day, it's like, Back to work, nigga. No offense.
And see, and that's the thing too, because
And then I always get them to submit to me in the chat because what they thought was I was going to stay on there and get lambasted by them. So I dropped down into the chat because I'm finishing my lunch and about to go back to work. And here he is like, and I said that was a beautiful thing. Congratulations on your marriage.
no, he didn't
Oh,
say that. Oh, you saw that too. Oh,
nigga,
and that's the
please.
funny part. You see how he switched that? Nah,
He switched it
he
because
was
he
taking a
wanted to
shot.
engage me. He wanted this feminine energy at any cost. They want feminine energy is so powerful, ladies, is that they want this feminine energy at any cost. Whether you're yelling at them, whether you're professing your love to them, whether you're laughing, they just want some sort of feminine energy. Feminine energy, they run the world. They just want something. They want a voice that's feminine. They want a face that's feminine. And then they get mad when you say some hardcore words because you don't play into the stereotype they wanted. They say, oh, look at this chocolate sister. She says she married. If I get on this panel, she might be nice to me, actually. In fact, no, I'm not. Because one thing about married women is we're shrewd women. And the way I was raised is that once I'm not the kind of person, when I walk in these streets, I don't look men in the eye. I don't do none of that. I was trained when I was a young woman. I don't have to look you in the eye. I don't want you to think I'm eye fucking you. Never. Never. So when I look you in the eye, I give you a certain kind of look that says, "Nigga, please," because at the end of the day, like I'm not trying to eye fuck you and give you the impression that I like you when my man is on his way from Nigeria. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to do those. Even when I wasn't with the guy, I don't do that because God forbid you think I'm interested in you, and then I gotta tell you like, in fact, I'm just not interested in a relationship. Period, because it's COVID time and I'm just not interested. Or in fact, I want someone from my continent and I just don't want to have this conversation with you because you are a good looking African American man, but maybe I just don't want that. Like I don't have to explain myself. I
I'm
just
so
don't.
glad that you just brought that up,
Mhm,
because that eye contact thing, like, I know
mhm,
they talk about choosing signals, and
mhm.
obviously you can usually tell if someone's interested in you by the way they look at you, or if they, they keep turning their head in your direction, they're looking at you directly in your damn eye, of course, right? um I wanted to touch on this though. They brought up submission. Okay, were you there for that? This is my thing. This is
Wait,
my thing.
I listened. I continued to was it was like maybe the submission happened right as I was coming off the panel, right? When I
I
was
think,
coming down from the panel.
yeah, I think,
Yeah,
I
I
think
heard it as I
so.
was eating. Go. Mhm.
This is what I thought was hilarious, right?
Mhm. Let me pull
Uh,
up his shit because
these
I pulled up this video from Six to Goddess. We can go back to that because yo, this homeless man was funny. But let's go to the Lapeef. Let's go to the Lapeef thing. While you're talking, I'm gonna try to pull up some clip from it.
Okay,
Keep going.
so I thought it was funny that because the man that came up on the panel and was talking, True Table, whatever his name is, because he had brought my name up, was saying that he was talking to me in the chat and whatever. This is the thing. The moment these men started talking about submission, what I heard was, along with everyone else, that uh the snake, the turtle guy, whatever his name is, I don't know, dragon something, whatever, he had said that submission is just simply respect, and some other bullshit. And I'm like, if that's the fucking case, that means I'm fucking submitting to every fucking goddamn body, especially when I come up on these panels, which is obviously false. Because I'm just like, if submission was just simply respect, that means everyone's submitting to everyone. And then when we bring up the definition, we can clearly see that it doesn't say anything about, oh, it's just respecting somebody. I'm just like, you guys, they are full of fucking confusion. It's sickening. And then when I call y'all out on it, and then this is the thing, because they have like they already have like their own reservations about how every single woman is and who we are. They just know us so well, right? So when I say something like it's obviously not respect and blah blah blah, I have nothing against submission. I'm not one of these women that think that submission is slavery and all this other bullshit. I'm not one of those. So when you come at me sideways in the fucking chat and you're like, oh, so if a man asks you out on a date and you chose to go, is that not submission? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, let's just keep it real. And I'm just like, obviously context matters. I'm like, obviously if I just was out and about and a man asked me on a date versus I was talking to a guy for maybe a few days already and then he asked me on a date, those are two different things, obviously. So whether I say yay or nay to either one, that has nothing to do with submission. And he's like, well, this is the true table guy, when the man when he's offering you a date, isn't he offering his submission to you? It's like, what the you know what, I'm just like, okay. So then he started talking about how men are supposed to submit to women. I'm like, okay, so this I'm gonna have a ball. I had a ball with that. I was trolling the hell out of them about that shit because I'm just like, okay, so now women are supposed to submit. I mean, sorry, men are supposed to submit to women. I'm like, okay, so I don't want to hear shit else from y'all talking about you wanting submission. I don't. If that's how y'all look at things, I don't want to hear shit else about submission because it's just like y'all say just anything on these fucking panels, but you want to be a leader and quote, you want to be, you're not a leader already. But this is my thing too. How the fuck are you 40 plus years old? Mind you, I'm way younger than you. You want someone like me to fucking submit to somebody who's fucking twice my fucking age. You have no experience, obviously, and you've never led anyone, and you think fucking submission is just gonna fall out of the fucking sky.
You know what? Who do I like on this panel? You see the youngin? I like the way he thinks.
Hold on, which one?
Power Up JT, the youngin. I like the way
he never
thinks.
oh yeah, he never talks much.
But when he speaks, he really has concrete opinions and he really has a lot to say without being disrespectful because he could recognize that these old niggas ain't winning. So he changes the way that he speaks. I finally figured out these men are batshit crazy. They stay on their Carl Thomas emotional. That's a fact. They be on their Carl Thomas. Hold on, let me play this because I just want to let you guys know. Like, I'm sure you guys saw this stream, but I just want to give it to you how I ended it. You can go back and do that if you want to watch it.
So this is such a joke what she's saying, and I really feel bad.
Exactly why an African American
ma'am, I'm talking, ma'am,
right.
ma'am.
Hold on, Black Beauty. Go ahead.
Can you show any respect?
I can't stand that man.
I didn't stutter. I say, can you show any respect, or is that just not your thing?
My husband, thank you.
Well, yeah, I feel bad.
I can respect my husband, thank you, and you don't have to feel bad. You'll never have a wife, nigga. Like you ain't got no opportunity to have no wife. That's the truth. The truth is, men like this, they could never get compliance if they wanted because they are out of control emotionally. See, when you're a man who is not stoic and you can't stay in your masculine frame, women will run circles around your little emotions.
I just didn't understand why he was coming at you sideways in the first place.
He liked my face.
Maybe that's what it is because then they try to do this.
He probably know me. I'm in these YouTube streets. I'm sure that he has gone to my IG, probably like this ass and body, and he came up on this panel. And I was on this panel saying what I was gonna say because I always come on Trigger Mike's panel when I get a chance. And most likely he saw something and he thought, you know what, she's a pretty girl, and at the end of the day she's married and is what it is, and he thought because I was pretty and married that I was going to submit to him, but that's not how it works. I submit and respect my husband, sir. Thank you.
What's crazy too, nothing was wrong with that sentence, and people can easily just take that and say that, oh, she's saying she has to respect no one but her husband. She didn't say that. I'm sorry, you didn't say that. They'll easily take something that you said and they'll fucking gaslight the hell out of you. It's just like, that's not.
And why do they do that? Right. Because what they really want is they really want an opportunity to get at me in a way that they think is going to pull down my confidence. Except in real life, I'm a real confident person. It's very difficult. Like, how do I feel about this? The same way I feel about when I had to get on stage and perform all of those years in LaGuardia, or when I had to put forth my paintings, or when I had to create my music when I performed in SOBs a couple years ago. Like, that's how I feel. Like, I'm confident in myself. And I think that in this YouTube space, there are a lot of people who are like socially awkward and recluses. So they actually don't really know how to interact with people. This is the most interaction they've done in a while outside of like playing Call of Duty, like you said, when they're doing their little digital. And so it's like they don't really have these conversations in real life. They don't actually have any conversations. They don't have any conversations. Like this man right here, as a matter of fact, let's go back to this thing right here. I mean, this man, he kind of looks like. See, there are men that walk around like this guy on this panel, and you see this guy enter Black Dragon. I like him too. Actually, I like him too because he's a person who can say something. He can check a woman, but also respectfully.
And see, that's
He
the
said to
thing
me, he
too.
said, "Hey, don't cut me off." I said, "Okay." Boom. Instead of saying, "This is disgusting. This is da 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 da. This is da 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 da." Ah, ah. Sir,
Girl, you
please
gonna have me
pull it
cracking up
together.
all night.
Please pull it together, sir. Ain't nobody have nothing against the brother. I actually had nothing against his ghetto point of view, and I still don't. I wish the
Right.
brother could go in and find what he want. And I know he probably even got somebody. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't always
Right.
assume that these niggas are. I assume that most of these men, they're probably single, but they're probably fucking a few women because they don't commit in this community. So let's stop playing ourselves. The
You
difference between they don't.
and that's the thing too, because obviously that's like the quote culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, marriage isn't necessarily a part of the culture in the Black community. We already fucking know that, right?
It's not.
So when they try to pretend like it is, it's like, come on, man, let's just keep it real.
Mm-hmm. And
Um,
you see, when you said, "Okay, I'm not Nigerian." Okay, why do you think that most of us Black American women or Caribbean women gravitate towards Nigerian men?
masculinity, maybe.
That yes, but they
Uh,
have the propensity to get married. It is in their culture. It's in the fabric.
you know
They
what?
don't
That
put
that
baby in
that
you.
makes
They don't put
sense. I didn't
baby
think
in you
about
without
that.
marrying you. They do not. Even if they marry you for 2 years, they don't put baby in you without marrying you. Venus, my girl. Salute to my girl Venus. Hold on, let me get this popping. The
You know
reason why
what?
we gravitate towards West African, it's not just Nigerian, but it's West African. The reason why we gravitate towards West African men is because they have a propensity to get married. They believe in legacy. They don't believe in putting baby in you with no marriage. They just don't. So that's the reason. If you
Shit,
want
I don't either, and that's the thing. And so it's just like, obviously we know the quote statistics, right?
to. Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, um, my issue is like, let's just put it like this. I don't like when, especially if, say, I come up on a panel and I don't know, we're talking about whatever, relationship wise
Some
and the
lip balm. I'm
community and whatever. It just gets annoying when, like, don't come at me sideways, like, as if, like, because, like, you don't even know me. That's one.
right.
Right. So
Right.
it's just like, oh, well, we know how y'all are. You probably got a baby and you probably got this. I was like, I've never been pregnant a day in my fucking life.
Thank you.
One, I
Mm-hmm.
don't even believe in abortions. I've never had that either.
Nope.
So it's just like, at the end of the day, like, treat me like an individual. If you want to come at me sideways, at least if you want to have a discussion and quote, you want respected, right? You want to
Mm-hmm.
respected and submission on these
At least ask.
panels, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least fucking
Ask me first before
ask
you
me
drag.
first, like, so
So do
because
you have a man? So do you have a husband? So do you have children? So I can say, yes, I have a man. Yes, I have a husband. No, I do not have children yet. Like ask the
right,
questions so I
ask
can give
me,
the answers.
because I just personally don't like when, and then when I throw that shit back at them, like, I don't have none of that shit you're talking about. Oh well, now you don't have anything to say. It's just like, at the end of the day,
Now it's my behavior. Now it's my tone. And now it's the fact that I'm cutting off your bullshit point.
oh my god, that what you just said,
Like
exactly.
your point was bullshit, sir.
It's just
Like
like,
it
oh,
was.
well, you're not supposed to disrespect men. This is the thing. I don't advocate for anyone being disrespected, men or women.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same fucking time, it's just like, don't come at someone, quote, a stranger, 9 times out of 10 on a fucking panel. This is the internet,
Mm-hmm.
right? So shit can go both ways. Don't just come at somebody sideways and fucking expect them to respect you. Because last time I checked, uh, that's not how shit
That's
works.
not how it works.
So
Let's
it's
see what
just,
these guys
Anyway,
are gonna say.
I haven't. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna finish with, I just I don't have respect for, specifically in this case, men who talk about, you know, you want submission, you want to be this leader, you know, you're beating on your fucking chest, but then
Well,
at the drop of a fucking dime, you'll talk shit to anyone, just because they don't. I don't even
I don't have
have to
respect for
say anything.
people. I don't have respect for people that demand respect, period. Whether you're black, white, young, old, man, woman, you don't demand respect. By the way you act is going to determine how I respect you. You're not going to tell me to respect you. Never. Never. You're never going to sit there and say, respect me. I'm going to respect you because of the way you carry yourself.
And see, I agree with that because real men, in my opinion, I'm gonna say that because you know, whatever. Um Real men who are actually leaders, uh they have other men that look up to them,
They do.
and they have a certain type of persona, and they have a certain type of standard and character, and they don't necessarily have to. I'm not saying that they can't say, if someone's disrespecting them, to say, hey, respect me. I'm not saying that, but this respect me, respect me, respect me, but I can shit on everybody and anybody at any point. It's just like, come on, you're like so a lot of these guys, if I'm keeping it real, like, yes, a lot of women are the problem, but there's a lot of these men are just out of order.
They are out of
Out of
timing. They
fucking
are out of
order.
order, out of timing. You see, on this panel specifically, what I wanted them to understand is that, like, because I was listening to the panel since it started when I was in the gym, and I wanted them to understand that, like, there's a lifestyle required for your woman to even be able to go to the gym every day. There's a lifestyle required for her to be able to have that comfort that makes her look beautiful every day. And if you don't provide that lifestyle, then you're not going to have the kind of woman that you want. I'm going to play some of this video right now.
Okay.
So listen,
I don't care how you
it's
feel.
so disgusting
No,
when
me
we
now.
have women that get on these panels and say that men who make 75, 85, 90,000 a year, busting their hump, doing 50, 60, 90 hours a week to take care of them and they 3 kids that they didn't even help them have, are somehow something bad in the community. This is disgusting. Save the community, black men. Do
This
better
shit
for the
right
community,
here.
black man. Fix the community, black man. But then all of a sudden, your $75,000, your $60,000, your $50,000 ain't good enough when you are arguably the top 1% out of the whole damn world. These people come here clamoring from other countries to get these jobs so they can help and benefit their families and put their families on the right foot. And what did she say? Oh, aspire for more, aspire for higher. What are you talking about? You don't even make any sense.
Yeah, Mike, let's
Girl, when he said that shit,
I was embarrassed for him because this is how I get when niggas start getting disrespectful. I calm down because what I won't do is get rowdy and raise my blood pressure and put more wrinkles on my forehead and make myself stressed out and get dark circles under my eyes for you to be upset. I don't care, sir. I was actually making my stewed chicken for dinner when he was going off. I was cooking as women do. I had just come from the gym and I was finishing up I'm literally finishing up my day. I got my other work laptop over here. I'm finishing up, doing some work. I'm on the panel. Now I'm calming down. I'm cooking my food. I'm multitasking, sir. What the fuck are you doing? I'm doing what a wife is going to be doing when my husband gets here.
And you know what? It's just like when he had said all that shit,
Does he not see the man next to him?
He had directed all of it towards you though. As if, what did he say? Some shit about expecting men to take care of the kids.
I can't quote him.
But the issue, this is my issue though, and actually that was actually a great example of what I just explained about a man talking to you as if they know you, they know your background, they know what you got going on. At the end of the day, not all of us have not all of us have fucking kids. Not all of us.
Wait a second. 3 kids. I don't have any kids.
Right.
But if I did have them, they'd be by my husband. And that's another reason why I defend tyranny, because yeah, she has 3 kids, but guess what? By one man that she was married to.
And I do bring that up too, because you know when they try to say, oh well, she was like she was at least fucking married when she had them.
That's a fact.
I mean, at the
and
end
I know
of the
she got a bag because it was a Mexican, so I feel he paid her. I know she got a bag too. They do be paying. I was approached by Francisco. He was a contractor working on the brownstone. He approached me. I said, Francisco, I can't do 10,000, but the 30,000 is He don't got it. I knew he ain't going. He don't got it.
You know
The
what
price of the brick
though?
went up. Sorry.
I think the biggest issue, and well, one of the biggest issues anyways when it comes to let's just talk about black folks.
Mm,
They don't understand the difference between a marriage, a husband, a girlfriend,
they don't.
a boyfriend, and a wife.
It's all
Those
blended.
titles, they hold weight. A wife and a husband is not the same as a fucking girlfriend or
They're
boyfriend.
not.
They're actually the girlfriend and boyfriend is relatively a new age thing, and it hasn't been around for that
It's
fucking
not
long.
real. Like I told
Anyways,
you in the last
it's
stream.
not.
My grandma said it just like this. Well, I guess that's your friend then. If you're not married, that's your friend. There's no boyfriend. There's no girlfriend. There's no engagement. It's called married or not.
And that's really what it is. And I know obviously a lot of people don't want to hear that, but that's just the way it is. It's unfortunate that because black folks anyways are not typically, they have across the border standard to get married and have and wait till they're married to have children and stuff like that. Of course the lines will be blurred, and it's easy to say a marriage is just a piece of paper. No, the fuck it's not.
No, it's not.
Marriage was around before fucking pieces of paper last
Well,
time I checked.
It sure was.
It sure
The
was. There
covenant.
was no such thing as getting married, because really you're getting married to the fucking government.
That's right.
People, and that's the thing. People,
I don't have anything
Girl.
legal in Nigeria that says that I'm married, but we did a spiritual little thing that we did. He'll get the legal over here. I don't mind, because the legal over here will actually benefit him. I don't need the legal in Nigeria. I don't give a fuck. My man could always get me up in there, and I'll get the legal over there. It's just how I feel is like marriage is a real thing. When people decide to be married, it is a real decision to grow a life together. It's not about all the shit that this man thinks it's about. Like, first of all, why is he coming at me so hard? Let's go back for a second.
girl, he does that. I'm sorry, I just wanted to say.
Is that how he do?
No, that's him. He's constantly on Chaotix panels, and every once in a while, well, actually, a lot more recently, I'll go over there and I'll just check it out. He be going so fucking hard just because. I'm like, God damn.
But why, bro? But Rob, like, he seemed like a well thought out man, but like the way his voice went up.
I think it's projection.
So
maybe he has those problems.
It's so disgusting when you have women that get on these panels and say that men who make 75, 85, 90,000 a year, busting their hump, doing 50, 60, 90 hours a week to take care of them and they 3 kids that they didn't even help them have are somehow something bad in the community. This is disgusting. Save the community, black men. Do better for the community, black man. Fix the community, black man.
Your
but then all of a
face.
sudden, you're $75,000, your $60,000, your $50,000 ain't good enough when you are arguably the top 1% out of the whole damn world. These people come here clamoring from other countries to get these.
Nigga, how
Girl.
you the top? Hold on, nigga. How you the top 1% when I just told you I make 170? Nigga, please. What are you talking about? Even if my man drive the way he drive, he gonna be pulling in 60 and 70. When he drive in New York, he gonna be because that's what it make. I did the math. I wouldn't bring him here if it wasn't worth it.
You can make bread as a driver, for real. You really
And
can.
you can even make bread as a MTA bus driver. Apparently, 35,000 to 117,000 with 90th percentile making 148. They must be some kind of management staff at the MTA bus. But at the end of the day, you can make that money, but you can't make that money because you don't have that drive. Let's talk about the lack of drive in this community. How these men sit up here and placate you women and make you think that they're about to reach for something. Oh, a bus driver, like Ebony K said, well, I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on bus drivers because this is a hard, honest day's work. I agreed with her when she said that part. It is an honest day's work. And that's why when Mr. Enter Black Dragon said what he said about his father, a Jamaican, because my dad is a Jamaican, who was a bus driver, I said, I could rock with that because I understand that life. Being a first generation, an immigrant to come over here, to really do it for your first generation children, that's different than being a born and bred Louisiana nigga talking about you want to drive a bus.
Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you. And that's the
The
thing
bus
that
don't even pay in your county. You want to drive the bus, go to LA, go to New York, go to Miami. Otherwise, the bus ain't for you. The bus ain't gonna make you no money. Stop playing.
and see and that's the thing. It's just like when he was saying all that stuff, he made it seem like he just had you all fucking figured out, as if you're the one that has 3 kids and you're fucking,
He
you know,
thought
you're
he
making your
did,
husband pay
girl.
for him. Like, I was just like, I
Ooh.
was cracking
I
up
was
when
so
he was
glad you was in
saying
the
that
chat, and
shit.
I was so glad so many people that know me. Yo, even Trigger Mike's face said it all. Like, who you talking to?
Right? Like,
Black Beauty.
what are you talking about?
We don't
This
watch Black Beauty hold down her. Like, I didn't, the first time when you guys met me, I wasn't even having sex for like a year. I didn't have sex not one time during COVID year. Not once. Not one. I had, hear what? I had sex on New Year's Eve going into 2020 with a friend from college. And like a double back, a man that I dated in college, and I ran into him, and I was like, "Oh, I really liked him," and and the sex was so bad, and I said, "I'm not going into this year fucking. I'm not." So I was already not having sex before COVID hit. So when it hit, I said, "Oh well, challenge." I'm a Scorpio. I do things like that. Sometimes I go and put it on lock for a while and calm it down.
Oh no, but it's impossible for women to do that,
When
remember?
y'all met me, I wasn't having no sex. I was coming out to the panels hanging with y'all all night. I didn't even have no man. Eventually, I got a man as I was on the panel. And it wasn't until that conversation with Aaron when he said, see, the thing about women that make money is they're not willing to do what men are willing to do. I said, you know what? I'm willing to do it because I know my man. He's not going to have me go in my pocket crazy. All he needs is to come to America and he going to do like every other Nigerian. Next thing you know, he's going to be making more than me. So let me hold it down. And that's why I chose him. So my thing is like, y'all don't even know what you're talking about. I got advice from a well-thinking man on the dude I chose. I also had him vetted through several people in the community, older men that like own the pharmacy and like own different stores and businesses. Mr. Jamsky, a Jamaican man that owns a Jamaican restaurant in Nigeria. Also Mr. Benny's, who owns the Benny's pharmacy out in Bioniru over there. I literally had those people who are older men that I trust like a pops, because my pops was not in Nigeria and he spoke to my man on the phone. I had them vet my man. So when you over here talking about 3 babies with who?
Right,
Who?
that's what I was
I've
saying.
got literally on my belt 9 fucking partners, nigga, please. 9, like we got 9 people in this chat. Stop it. Who he talking about?
Oh no, but
these
women have
jobs
50,
so they can
50
help
plus
and benefit their
partners,
families
remember?
and put their families on the right foot. And what did she say? Oh, aspire for more, aspire for higher. What are you talking about? You don't even make any sense.
Yeah, Mike, let's move on, man. She's just gaslighting everybody, man.
So let's get the next question.
And that's
We've
what
been doing
Arcane
open
pissed
thoughts
me
for 2
off.
hours.
Oh my god.
You
That's
know
what
what? I actually, when R-Pain said what he said, I liked it a little bit because it was a little relief. Because I actually like R-Pain and he's cool with me. So it was like, that was his way of saying, like, this is YouTube talk. Like, let's move on from it. Don't get too hard. That was his way of calming the brother down. I know you don't recognize that, but that's how I felt. It was like he was
okay.
almost like calming the brother down, like, yo, why you getting so heated? That's YouTube talking points and she's gaslighting, which may be true to a degree. Which is why I'm wondering why you're getting so mad about this little simple conversation. Like, if I don't come on this panel and blaze for some women, who's going to do it? Everyone's so scared to get on these panels and say what it is. And you know why they're scared? Because if you ask them if they have children out of wedlock, most likely they're going to say yes. If you ask them if they're married, most likely they're going to say no. This is why I come on the Trigger Mike's show, because almost all of us that come up here are women of a certain particular look and a background, and we're all married. The beautiful Nigerian lady with the short hair, you know who I'm talking about, with the glasses that just had her baby last week. You know who I'm talking about. I be forget Africa Pop, I think is her name. Her, the AAB, the girl that was on the panel today, PH Diva, like none of these ladies are babies' mothers, and all of them I don't know about PH Diva, but those other 2 ladies are married. So I'm trying to understand. Don't you know where you're at, brother? This is not Lapeef Let's Talk. This is Trigger Mike's show. On Trigger Mike's show is where the wives get to show out on you losing niggas.
Can you still hear me?
I can. Go.
Okay, because my I'm sorry. My brother had FaceTime me real fast, and I was
It's
trying
okay.
to, yeah.
I just feel like he went so hard. Like he went so, and I think that was just part of his spiel. Like I think that was just part of his, his statements and him just turning up the temperature on the panel. But I personally was exhausted by that because remember I came from the gym and I'm cooking food and I'm also working
That's
and on the panel. I
very
was just
exhausting.
like, I
Once
was
someone,
like unbothered.
once someone, especially okay, when someone I don't know when someone starts talking to you like that, and you don't even know them, and you're on a fucking panel,
I
it's
have
just
to,
like game
I have to
fucking
calm
over.
down.
Right?
You
It's
have
just
to.
like I will say it will. In my experience, it just make you want to fucking just say fuck this. You know what?
It
Because
do.
because I'm not the type to. I don't like arguing anyways,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm not about to, and I also don't want to make a fool out of myself. So
Mm-hmm.
and three, I'm damn sure not about to be just. What's the point of me arguing with some fucking random? Like I have nothing. I have nothing to prove, nor do I
Actually,
care.
in fact, when I feel like I'm winning, that's when I do the least arguing. Because the fact that you said all that and everyone on this panel knows otherwise, like Mr. Ikane, he knows otherwise. Trigger Mike knows otherwise. EBD knows otherwise. Youngin knows. Mr. Payne know. All them guys know I'm married. That's why they was looking funny. That's why boy Trey is laughing. Because everybody in this space knows I just got married. To the point where I didn't even say I was getting married. I literally kind of like said it. And then all of a sudden people were like, yo, because some people have my Instagram and they saw I was spending time with my guy and they were like, Black Beauty, congratulations. They exposed me in Fight Club. I never told anyone I was married in these spaces.
That
They
was a good
exposed me.
move, though. That was, in my opinion, the right move because you caught them off guard. Because guess what? What were they thinking? Oh, she would never get married. She doesn't qualify. All this bullshit. I'm just like all these fucking YouTube, and that's why I ain't gonna lie. I say the past about a week been going hard as fuck in these damn fucking chats. I have not.
As you
I've
should.
given
I've
no
been seeing you.
fucks.
Cut these men up, like
Because
as you
I'm just
should.
like, and the thing is, obviously, some of it is for fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of it is I'm really calling people out. Like I've always called people out on their shit, but I'm really fucking like going hard about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick and tired of, I come in, I'm watching a stream, you know, and then all the fucking cap. I mean, it's just like it's just too fucking much. It's all the time. And the thing is, obviously, we constantly see more of the same faces than not. Right. So it gets to be annoying when you've been watching people and you see the same people for a fucking year. You already know what certain people are going to say, but when they try to talk out of both sides of their neck
Exactly.
and then pretend like they're not doing that, it's just like some of us aren't fucking stupid. Some of us actually have brains. Some of
Mm-hmm.
us can think for ourselves. Some of us um aren't fucking stupid and brain dead. So it's
They're
just
not
like
used to people that are intelligent. Don't you see? They come on these
a
panels to get
trust.
exposure to intelligent people.
Oh,
They have dummies in their
trust.
immediate surroundings. See, the thing is, sometimes I can't even do YouTube, or I can't even come on the panels because after I'd done my whole scrum, whatever the fuck during the day, and then I'm chilling in the evening and cooking, I don't even have the energy to talk sometimes. I just want to bullshit in the comment and troll.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm gonna be
This is
honest,
the reason
girl.
why this stream moves because I had dinner plans and I had things to do, and I didn't have the energy, guys.
And see, that's the thing too, because
Mm-hmm.
within the past month or so, I've hopped on a panel a few times.
Mm-hmm.
But
You used to come on way more often, but girl,
I,
even I've slowed down a lot. I only
I've
come on
slowed
two
down
places.
for
Fight
many
Club
different.
sometime on a Friday night if I'm not busy, because sometime I do be inside on a Friday because I'm wrapping up the day and then my homegirl comes over, so I be in here. And then I will come on a Trigger Mike's panel. That's literally where I go. I don't go nowhere else. Oh, and Dynast. That's my African diaspora stuff. But yo, shout out to Danica and shout out to Six because when I play this video, you gonna be laughing at the bigotry of low expectations. Give it a second.
Another day homeless in America. Today is April 8th, 2023. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a homeless man living out of my car. I have no food. I have no money. I have invalid insurance on my car. I have invalid license plate tags on my car. My tires are bald as an eagle. And it's in the front seat, back seat, and trunk of my car. I have absolutely nothing. So I've been coming on TikTok on my live and asking for donations and help. And I had a woman 3 weeks ago that came across my platform. And me and her got to talking. And I fell in love with her. And she said that she fell in love with me.
What?
I told her I was in Tampa, Florida. And she said she was in Pennsylvania.
Man, real quick, man, why always they gotta make Florida people look bad? Every time I turn around, somehow it's somebody making us Florida folk look bad. It don't never fail. Lord.
So she said, I don't want you homeless out there on the street. I want you to come to me in Pennsylvania. I'm gonna send you the money and everything to get to me. So I took the money. I drove far from Tampa, and now
I can't stand you.
The woman called me on the phone, and she told me, she said, I'm sorry to make you drive so far, but it's not going to work, so please do not come to my house. And I said, what did I do wrong? I haven't did anything. She said, it's just not going to work. So now I'm in the middle of nowhere in Virginia. No food, no money, no nothing. Heartbroken because I thought I was going to get married. I just asked everybody on TikTok to keep me in your prayers. And
Hold on.
Just please, just keep
Hold
me
on. I think I missed something.
I'm actually hard.
The nigga said he thought he was about to get married. I think I missed something too. I think you did too.
Get married to who?
Y'all. He needs a sponsor. All right. 1-800-POORBM 88.
I'm done.
Call the hotline.
Girl.
1-800-POORBM 88. Y'all niggas is playing with me today. I had to play this. Yo, shout out to Janika. Shout out to Six the Goddess. I don't like stealing content. As Raw B said earlier, this is under the section of 107 of the Copyright Act. This is fair use. And I'm sorry I had to blast the nigga today because I was dying when I was catching up on their videos. Because quite frankly,
why did he think he was getting married to some chick on TikTok? That's the part I don't understand.
Okay, this man, look at this man. Now, I'm not saying anything about him and particularly his face or anything, but I'm saying he looked like he's a hefty weight. And he probably, his head is almost up to the ceiling of his car, so he's probably tall and big. Now, think about a man who don't have nothing to do all day, has no work, and nothing to keep him occupied. You don't know him like that. You think you about to get married. He driving cross county to come see you. He probably coming with a couple bags too. This is what we call a hobosexual. And see, if you gonna take a hobosexual in, make sure he's at a weight where you could take him on. Then if he start acting like a fool, if you're gonna start, I'm gonna tell you, if you're gonna start fucking a hobosexual, make sure he's a small man that you can just yank that nigga up out your house. Because you see this man right here, how is she going to get him out of his house, out of her house? When he gets in, there's no coming out. This is domestic violence waiting, because the minute she tells him, hey, you're going to have to work, and he's going to say, well, I can't get no job because I'm not from this state and I don't got the ID and this, that, and my tires is bald as an eagle.
I'm done.
My tires is bald as an eagle. He said, my tires is bald as an eagle. And I was expecting to get married.
Not the tires is...
So that means that if you kick this nigga out your house, he don't even have tires to drive back with. He don't even have no tires to drive back with if you kick this nigga out your house. And this is the reason why you got to have your nose in the air and them standards got to be high. You understand what I'm saying? Let the man at least have a place where you can listen, this is how I always used to do. How I used to do was, you want to come to my house? No, in fact, I want to come to yours. And then when I come, I usually bring a girlfriend because I don't know you. But I want to see how you live. I want to see where you live, and I want to see who you live with. I want to see if you live in a cardboard box, a project apartment, a little ghetto house, or a nice condo. I'm trying to figure out, listen, I want to know if you live in an old brownstone or if you live in a little rickety shack. because the old brownstone is higher than the rickety shack. Sorry. So I'm trying to figure out, like, where did this man get off thinking he was going to get married? How he going to get married? Guys, like the stream, please. Remember when you come in here to give this stream some likes. I need likes, guys. I need view time and I need likes. I'm trying to get monetized so that I can start doing these travel videos. I'm going to be traveling Africa like crazy with my man. I'm going to be pregnant all over Africa. But this man right here, he's not invited. Stay your ass in America.
You know what? That doesn't make sense to me. And I could obviously, I'm gonna say obviously because I know myself, could never be with a what they call a homosexual or whatever. This is the thing.
Ooh, Royce. Amen. Let me give Royce, because this is a man who, see, Royce was making some comments and I like the things he was saying, but this right here, not a woman in my family. I would have been on his ass, as you should.
This is the thing, though, when you think about it. Why the
Don't
fuck?
come to his sister. Royce said, don't come to his sister's house looking like you is homeless as hell and like you need to take a bath as soon as you come in the door. You better come clean and you better come with some tread on your tires, nigga, because you going back home. So, like,
hold on 1 second.
Yes. Let me play this. Listen, let me play this. Guys, while she is doing what she's doing, I want to just go ahead. I want to play this one more time for you guys. Just him. Ladies, thank you for this video. I'm really not trying to bite off y'all. This was too funny. And I wanted to roast a nigga today. So.
I drove far from Tampa, and now I'm stuck in Virginia. And let me tell you why I'm stuck. The woman called me on the phone, and she told me, she said, I'm sorry to make you drive so far, but it's not going to work. So please, do not come to my house. And I said, what did I do wrong? I haven't did anything. She said, it's just not going to work. So now I'm in the middle of nowhere in Virginia. No food, no money, no nothing. Heartbroken because I thought I was going to get married. I just asked everybody on TikTok to keep me in your prayers.
This man said that he drove from Tampa, Florida, to Virginia. That's like 5 states up. Literally. I'm trying to understand him. How you take a road trip with no way to get back, no tires to get back? Come on now.
And
I'm praying for you.
Just keep me in your prayers. Right now I'm going through a lot because I'm actually heartbroken. I thought I had somebody that was in my coma. Please pray for me.
6. Let me tell y'all something. We're going to stop playing these games. We going to stop playing these games like these men have anything to offer. Okay? They come into your house with no tread on their tires. They come into your house empty stomach. They're coming with nothing. They're driving from Tampa, Florida to Virginia because they want to get married, also known as leech off you, and live in your apartment and do nothing for you. And because they're big and a little intimidating, maybe, they want to try to make you feel bad because you tell them don't come. I'm sorry, don't come, and I'm changing my phone number. Because right here, this can't make it. This right here cannot make it. And I think, like, don't get married if first of all, nobody said nothing about marriage. I think she just wanted the man to come and, blow her back out and go back home. But when she realized he was driving from Tampa and he wasn't going to go back because he's probably texting on the way and he's like, I can't find your place. I don't know if I'm in the right way, but my tires are giving out. And with all his baggage and all his shit. I know they say bag lady, but this brother got a book bag. He got a whole luggage. He trekking with 2 luggage and a book bag. Talking about Occupy Wall Street in your fucking house. So I'm trying to understand, like, are we that desperate out here, ladies? Don't be desperate. All you ladies can have everything you ever wanted in life. As long as you know how to put your boundaries into effect. Boundaries are so healthy and they're so needed. That's why when that man was yelling at me on Lapeef earlier, I enacted and put into effect my boundaries. I calmed down. I went to go continue cooking. I got into my feminine. I dropped off the panel, and then I let him salute me in the chat because he had to recognize the real. He had to recognize the fact that I'm married and I'm going to have these babies in wedlock. He had no choice but to recognize the real. So what I'm saying is, like, don't come to us like this. This is worse than a bus driver. I know we're talking about a bus driver tonight, but the bus driver, we don't hate the bus driver. We respect him. In fact, we respect him because we are ordinary women. We just say that for a woman like Ebony K, if she want to do better than the bus driver, she can because she's better than the bus driver. But for me, I don't mind a bus driver. My man's going to come and he's going to work as a driver. That's the same as a bus driver. Driver is driver. Driver is driver. So at the end of the day, it's not about the bus driver. It's about marry on your level. I think only women are really supposed to be marrying up. And when we find a man out here with no gas in his car trying to create a sense of hypergamy for himself by way of a woman that he's never actually met before, he just want to be hypergamous, up on your ass, driving states to come to your house. You think it's because he loves you? No, it's because he needs a place to stay. It's rough out here. Times is rough. The US dollar is down. Groceries are $90 a bag. And as far as I'm concerned, this is really his problem. His problem is he's not that smart. You can tell by the way he speaks. He's kind of like a country bumpkin. Probably didn't have much brought up, not much about himself, can't really pull it together, and he's intimidating looking, so people don't want to give him a chance, and I feel bad for him in that way. But you got to kind of clean up for yourself a little bit. See, you could have gotten your own house, a small one in Florida, because they're dirt cheap. Some of the ones out there very cheap. If you don't want to live on the coastline, these houses in Florida be dirt cheap. Get yourself a little house, and then why don't you bring her over there? And if she likes you enough, maybe she will buy into your plan and start to contribute to your plan and help you out. Because that's how real women do. They see that you're doing something for yourself and they say, I could help him a little bit. And that would help me because now I can live in this house or whatever the case is, and we can have a relationship. And then by me helping him, that helps us. But the reality is that he don't even want to help himself. He don't even help himself to no new tires. I know welfare pays something, enough for you to get a couple tires now. So I'm trying to understand, like, is this what we have to deal with? Like, the bus driver is one thing, but this man now? I mean, I swear when Ebony K. Williams said the bigotry of low expectations, that stuck in my mind because I love wordplay. And I love a good word salad when a woman is serving it to you niggas. Because this word salad is necessary. You men in this community give us so much word salad that Ebony K. Williams just did what all of y'all do every week. She literally finessed y'all with the words, just like how Derek Jackson be finessing some of y'all with words. How Tony Gaskins be finessing some of y'all with words. And what do I like about Anton Daniels, though, is he don't give a fuck about finessing you. He gonna use his words how he want to use them. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. That's what I like about him. He's not going to sit there and try to finesse you with his words. Either you going or you going. That's it. All this other shit about talking to me on the phone and now you driving across state lines to come live in my place, or all this other shit about bus driver and hard days work and my dad was a bus driver. No one cares what your dad did. We're not dating your dad. Do you understand? Ladies, thank you so much. This has been a really great live. I'm gonna keep going for a couple more minutes. If y'all want to come up on the panel, I dropped the link in the chat several times. You are more than welcome to come up. There's not many people watching right now. It will grow. I need to promote this channel. I think the best thing for me to do is do some pre-recordeds, because just to grab other audience members, to grab other women that don't be on these panels, because I would say 80% of my people are African diaspora people. So when I'm doing African shows, they'll come on, there'll be more people in here. But when I'm doing like these shows, I don't have many people from the panels because I never really promoted this channel that much. And I really haven't given it the energy it deserves. But I'm going to start doing some pre-recorded, and I need to just open up the TikTok account so I can run into videos like this, because this is giving. This video for this man is giving, and I'm not running into videos like that because I'm very, very busy. So I just need the TikTok scrolling on my phone while I'm just relaxing at the end of the day, and just I can favorite some videos, and then we can have some conversations, because we're going to talk about the bigotry of low expectations a couple more times. Next time when I come up on this conversation part 2, I'm going to have some videos of the bus driver. Like on this thumbnail, I have a couple bus drivers on the left. Greyhound bus driver, an MTA bus driver. We're going to have some videos of the bus drivers. In fact, we'll have some more videos of some more homosexuals telling us how they want to come and live in our houses for free. So at the end of the day, it is, and trust me, I know, because when you live alone, there are a lot of guys that try to find themselves hanging out, especially if you're a person who records music and does things. People will come by, you chill with them. Next thing you know, they're here. Next thing you're looking around and you're like, yo, so it's getting late. You got to go. I don't mind having company, but you got to go. You don't live here, and you won't live here. So I think I need to get up on the TikTok so that I can have some more videos to just show you guys and bring to you guys with some more, examples, so that we can have some more fun, because I don't like to talk down on men when I could just let them speak for themselves. I mean, the man said his tires were bald as an eagle. So as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing else to be said. Nothing else to be said except please help him. He needs a sponsor. Sorry, guys. Literally, I just swiped to the left. I swiped to the left with my finger, and it just brought me back. But honestly, he needs a sponsor, and he's looking for a sponsor. So there's really nothing we can do with men like this. At least the bus driver has a little bit more respect for himself. Like, he gonna do what he gonna do. But I'm being honest with you. Like, this man right here, he really did scare the shit out of me, because I thought to myself, like, what man in his right mind would, I'm sorry, he said, I gotta go back, because he said that his tires were bald as an eagle. One, he's a homeless man. Two, he's living out of his car. Let's count all the red flags. Let's go.
I have no food.
No food.
I have no money.
No money.
I have invalid insurance on my car.
Invalid
insurance.
insurance.
License plate tags on my car.
The nigga driving dirty. 5 things we counted. 5 red flags already.
My tires are bald as an eagle.
Tires as bald as an eagle. I'm gonna count that as 4 things. There are 4 tires. We got 9 problems already.
And it's in the front seat, back seat, and trunk of my car. I have absolutely nothing. So I've been coming on.
The back seat is the trunk of his car. Like, he's laying it flat. Like, I don't understand. Like, if he's like laying in it like a bed, that's another problem. We've got about 10 issues right here.
TikTok on my live and asking for donations and help. And I had a woman 3 weeks ago that came across my platform, and me and her got to talking. And I fell in love with her, and she said that she fell in love with me. I told her I was in Tampa, Florida, and she said she was in Pennsylvania. She said, I don't want you homeless out there on the street. I want you to come to me in Pennsylvania. I'm going to send you the money and everything to get to me.
Oh, sorry. I thought she was in Virginia. He was in Virginia when he stopped driving. She was in Pennsylvania. This nigga was about to drive up like 8 states on the eastern seaboard. What is going on here? Do better, sir.
So I took the money. I drove far, far, far from Tampa, and now I'm stuck in Virginia. And let me tell you why I'm stuck.
Hey, listen, nigga. Nobody cares why you're stuck. See, if nobody told you, I'm going to tell you tonight. Nobody cares why you're stuck. and nobody's going to help you. In fact, the guys that pull you over, the cops that pull you over, please let me know if they help you. Please let me know if they assist. Let me know if they come to your rescue. Because as far as I'm concerned, it's never happening. For this man, he's doomed.
The woman called me on the phone and she told me, she said, I'm sorry to make you drive so far, but it's not going to work. So please do not come to my house.
And she was right. And I'm going to leave it right there. Guys, go support the ladies. That's D6. You guys know who they are. Danica, Six the Goddess. Go watch that video. Give them the support, the thumbs up and shit. I really enjoyed that. I had to bring that to you on this conversation because not only is it a bus driver, but it's like every low expectation in the community needs to be met with some kind of like hug and some kind of like pep talk. And like, as far as I'm concerned, pep talks are for children, not for grown ass men. I will not be giving nobody a pep talk. If I got to pep talk you into life, you might as well just end yours. And that is that. Guys, it is 12:10 and I really do just want to play some music. I really do just want to play some beats and let y'all do what y'all do. It's 12:10. I know a lot is going on. I know there's Lapeef. I know there's a lot of shows happening. I know people are going to end their show. They're going to want to come into this live. I don't do anything to capture audiences from other people. I literally put this time slot because it's what worked for me. If people want to see this video, they're going to go back. They're going to watch the video. Okay. I'm not going to force anybody to do anything, but please, for y'all that are in this chat, share this. I really enjoy it. Shout out to Raw B. That's my girl. I really loved her. Like, yo, shout out to Raw B. Could you guys go to her channel, please? Because she had some of the best ladies on there today. Like I said at the top of the stream, they were like for real serious. Like literally, like I have this the Florida Georgia Initiative.com. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to say anything else about it. I'm just going to post the link in here. The Freedom. Hold on. The Freedom Georgia Initiative.com. The Freedom. Nobody asked me to promote this, but I'm promoting it because if we talk about people that are building in the community, you're going to find that there's not a lot of Black men building in this community. That's why we're reaching across the pond to bring some hardback Africans who help us build this community up, honestly, because there's not a lot of Black American men building up this community. It's all I ever see is sisters just doing that work. So when I was on Raw B's panel earlier and the sisters were doing that work, I said I respect it. I am going to share the work they're doing everywhere I go because I really need you guys. As a matter of fact, let me make sure this is correct. This is not exactly correct. Let me just go ahead and go. The Freedom, just a lot. I think she said you can look up Freedom Georgia. That's the correct one. This one is that's the correct one, guys. Look, there are so many women in this community that have built their lives from nothing. I mean, like this, me and Ebony K have similar starts in life in that we're only children and we had humble beginnings and we've both grown corporately, but she has taken herself to the next level as a media personality and she's really transformed the landscape for young Black lawyers as Black women in this, especially New York City. She's very influential. And like everything that she says stands. Like it is low expectations for you to go out there and be worried about being a bus driver, even though we're not going to be mad at you if you do it and you do it well. Like if you do it well. If you're going to be a bus driver that makes, for example, the 117,000. Be that bus driver. Don't be the bus driver that makes 35,000 and wonder why you don't get compliance. Because if you're making 35,000, you probably gonna have some tires that's bald as an eagle. All right. But Black Beauty is out. Now let me play some music and carry y'all all up out of this place. A little bit of lo-fi beats for you. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate you. I know there's a lot going on. I would hang back and wait and see what's up, but I feel like if I do that, I'll be on here for hours and hours and hours and hours if I sit around. I think we just got to let it catch on naturally. organically. We got to just let this catch on organically. And I got to do some pre-recordeds to bring some of the ladies into the space. Anyway, I hope that you guys like my mom's old earrings or door knockers. I hope you guys like this. Hearts. I also put on my bracelet too, but where the fuck did it go? Did it just drop off my wrist? Oh no, there it is. The bracelet that my fiance gave me before he passed. I put that on too, but I don't really flex my wrist that much. I have a lot of jewelry. I just don't wear it because this is not the place for it. In no place do I go in this world where jewelry is actually... I can wear jewelry out here. It's just I don't do it, and I won't do it in West Africa either. So I kind of just wear jewelry in photo shoots and at home and shit. But ladies, thank you for coming to the panel. Of course, Leek gonna hold it down. She gonna keep holding it down. And I know she's busy right now, but we out of here. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Yo, stop arguing with these ladies. Stop arguing with these men about being married and just go get married already. If that's what you want. If you don't want to be married, you have nothing to prove. We as women have nothing to prove. It's actually for men to prove to us. Like, don't let YouTube's the alternate universe. It's upside down. Okay, don't let it misshape you and make you feel like something is happening that's not happening. When I'm out in this park, men are submitting, women are submitting, and they're coming into a relationship where they can build. We're not going to sit here and act like that's not happening. Anyone who says that's not happening doesn't go outside enough. And like I said, I don't know about Sunday panels because this weather is fire. I think the next time I do a Sunday panel, it's going to be a rainy day. Like the first Sunday panel was a rainy day. But we're going to keep it on Tuesday night. And I'm going to really work. I'm going to really put some work on some pre-recorded videos and just get my thoughts out there because I want everybody to just... If you heard me on Fight Club, that's one thing. But I want you guys to see what a free woman moves like. A woman who sets her own story and sets her own agenda and sets her own plan. I went to Africa. I said, I'm going to get married. I did that shit. That's important because I said I would. So it's a choice. Your life and your happiness is within your own reach. And that's what it is. So guys, thank you. Peace. Peace. Lo-fi beats are the best, guys. Find a couple lo-fi, like, vibrations are very important for your spirit and your soul. Find some lo-fi beats you can study to, relax to, stretch to. I even have like weird ambient sounds that play in the background when I'm working. Rain sounds or like sounds of chirping birds and shit like that. I mean, there's a park by me and there's a bird's nest right above my window on this brownstone. So I hear the birds in the morning anyway. But... Thank you guys. I'm really proud of this live. I appreciate it. And it has been a pleasure. A Black Beauty is out. Thanks. Peace.